the man with the plan, got the game in the can, in shack. That's
Dude,
not the actual lyrics, but
I love it because I think I was watching like an interview for that or something, and I forget who was like singing for it, but they're like, yeah, I just need something like, just give me the 16th notes on the fucking drums, and that's the
classic, dude.
It's fucking
It's good
sick.
shit.
But what is going on, everybody? You know what it is. This is actually, if you don't know, if you're one of the people that are here and you don't know and this is your first time, welcome. We appreciate you for clicking on our podcast. Why you did, I don't know, but we're not going to ask too many questions.
That's for you to know and us to ponder.
Exactly. But if you don't know what this is, if this is your first time hearing our voices, this is Too High for TV, where two guys get too high and talk about a little bit too much TV.
Just a little.
But that is for you to, come to the conclusion yourself.
Yeah, whatever you feel.
After you listen to the episode, you can be like, damn, these guys talked a lot about some TV, man.
I actually, cheers. Whoa.
Good thing you got me, dude. You caught me.
Whoa,
you caught me, man.
That was close. Gotta love a good old Michelob.
Definitely the superior light beer.
I agree, 100%. There's nothing else I'd rather drink in terms of light beers, for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, Miller High Lifes aren't bad.
Miller High Lifes?
Yeah, Miller High Lifes, I think, with like lemon
Miller's
pretty good.
Ooh, I've never thought about a lemon with a Miller.
I forget. I think that's what it was. There was some kind of, it was Miller High Life and something else where during one of the Christmas shows, the one that we did actually right before COVID hit was when like tabletop games like was pretty big with like me and Diggs and like my Theo Seth and my dad and stuff. And like we would just drink those all the time because they were super cheap. But yeah, you put like a lemon or like maybe salt or something. I don't know. You do something and it tastes like real good. It's nice.
Miller's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
When I went to Hawaii, I drank Miller's a couple of times, and I was like, I'm down for this.
But I don't know if it compares to this, though. Because this is good fresh out the can. You don't need to do anything else.
Yeah, because I had a Miller, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. But then I had a Michelob, and I was like, oh,
whoa,
I like this. Because it just goes down easy. It's a really nice light beer where it doesn't make you feel like bloated. I feel like a lot of beers just make me feel like I have one or two, and I'm like,
I like this one at dinner.
Oh, yes.
Because it's easy to just like gulp it down, and you're fine. And it's light, so you can have like two. I usually, if I go to a restaurant, like probably will have two beverages of some kind. It's not always like two drinks, right? But like I'll have a water and a drink, or I'll have like a water and a soda or something or other. So like if I just want some beers, I can just drink those. And good.
When I go out, I'm a big cocktail and a water guy for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I love a good cocktail. Like beers are cool, like, but I mean when you're out, I think a cocktail is the way to go for sure.
If I go to a restaurant, I pretty much always get red wine because I always order steaks. I like wine as it is. I'm partial to red wine over anything else. We'll drink
wine
of
to
it.
make you feel so fine.
Yeah, but my favorite move is because like I don't know much about wines. So hot tip out there, if you do like red wine but you don't know like what you're fucking drinking, is when you go to a restaurant, especially a nice one, is when your waiter comes up to you. This is if you're having steak and like say you're gonna have a filet mignon or whatever, right? I always ask them like, I'm gonna be having the filet mignon tonight. Can you recommend a red wine that would go well with it? And they're usually like, yeah, we have like these options here, and then you just pick from that. That's usually good. But red wine and steak is so fucking good, bro. Like,
really?
I'm not going Michael Scott style and fucking dipping it into my cup and shit, But like, it's a good combo. I like it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, guys, that is my co-host Daniel.
Oh yeah, hi. Did I not say my name yet?
No, we neither of us said our names, and I was realizing that because I started talking. I was like, damn, we haven't said our fucking names.
Just kidding. Hi, I'm Daniel,
and I'm Ryan. So yeah, that is we are the co-hosts of this fucking podcast, and sometimes we do a good job of introducing ourselves. Sometimes we don't.
No, not always. It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can just record an intro, and then you can just drop them at the top of like a graphic at the front, And then we just come into the episode.
I'd be down.
We could try it.
I'm down to try it.
We could try it. Maybe it won't work, but we could try.
I like the like candid sort
intros,
of intros and stuff like that. It feels a little bit more like not that recording an intro is inauthentic or anything like that.
No, yeah.
But I kind of just like the flow of like we get into the episode. Hey, what's up? Let me introduce. Because I feel like that's like a lot of podcasts that I listen to that I like. I enjoy that. Maybe just because I know, like, I don't know, like I like the idea of coming in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah, for sure. You also get different energy because you're coming at it from different levels too. So it provides dynamics.
You know, what if one day we're having just like a kind of like an week, you know what I'm saying? And then the intro is just like what's up, everybody?
Hey everyone, we're ready.
Yeah, and then the episode we're just like, yeah.
I just got blasted by Buddy. Sorry,
yeah.
She's requesting. She said because I told her we're doing the podcast, and she goes, no, boo. And then she says, I want to do an Adam Sandler episode.
Okay.
She's like, or Seth Rogen.
I'm down. We have had one Adam Sandler, but we need to have another Adam Sandler because that man's got a very
wide
deep
variety,
filmography.
Yeah. We also, I don't think, have done like a Seth Rogen exclusive episode. We've done stuff with him in it, but I don't think we've done one centered around him.
No.
So.
And that fool's like, he acts, he writes, he does all that shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we've only ever had her on for one episode. Mm-hmm. And it was a little crowded. I think it was like 4. I think Diggs was here too. So
no, Joey was here.
Oh, Joey, that's right. Because it was
when we did White Lotus.
Thank you. I always forget the name of that show. I always want to say like Hotel Lotus or some shit or whatever.
Hotel California.
Something, yeah. Like I don't know. It just always slips my fucking mind every
time. The Marriott.
Time. So yeah, some bullshit. Fucking Best Western. 4 Seasons Lotus.
Hey, I'll tune in. I mean, a season of the. Of White Lotus could take place in the 4 Seasons. It's a nice hotel.
It could, yeah, 100%. I want to see one. We had the the Hawaiian resort, right? And then we had like the Italian city hotel.
Yeah, what's gonna be next?
I want to see like a fucking motel, like the shittiest White Lotus that they have. Give me the jankiest one for one of the seasons, and it's just like horribly run.
Interesting. I'd be kind.
They probably don't have one like a chain that nice.
Mm-hmm.
But as a concept, who cares? As a show, do what you want, you know? Like,
yeah.
I think it'd be funny.
They go to the first White Lotus.
Oh, that'd be cool. Maybe there's like some like creepy secrets that all of the random like crime shit that happens on the side. Maybe it all actually originates from like the White Lotus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Imagine just like working in the chain of White Lotus being like, hey, did you hear what happened in the fucking one in Italy? Oh,
yeah.
What? Fucking couple people died. Fuck, dude.
No way.
That happened last week here.
Yeah, at the fucking Hawaiian one, dude. You're just like cursed to have deaths in your hotel all the time. That'd be pretty freaky, honestly.
I would not work at that hotel. I would never go to that hotel. I would never step foot in like a 10-block radius of that hotel. You
know what's crazy? So super random, but like I still am upset that Tanya died at the end of season 2. What's her name's character?
Yeah.
I forget her name. Oh no. Oh no. Her. Yeah, I can barely do her voice. But I'm still upset that she died. And I just thought of another reason why it's bullshit that they killed her off, which is that the trouble, if you think about it, the trouble almost followed her. Yeah. And so like they still have they've expanded enough to tell us like that this crime weird random shenaniganness comes from like a place that we can probably further explore or whatever, but like yeah, I don't know. I'm going to miss that weird, like, dynamic, you know, of, like, her stumbling through all of this, like, crazy crime lord shit all of a sudden and whatnot.
Yeah, she was a nice, like, thread through, like, the season. So it is. But I wonder if they're going to keep that going with, like, someone else, you know?
That's true, because you could pass the baton.
Yeah, pass the torch off to someone else.
I do like that. Ev seems to think that it's going to be the Aubrey Plaza unit.
I like that.
The 4 of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if I would like the 4 of them, but I would like
maybe just Aubrey Plaza and her dude.
Or maybe they break up, you know?
Maybe, yeah, they had a rough
divorced,
time. Yeah. And it was just, maybe it just ends up being, I would rather have, I mean, that other guy was good. He was fine, but I would rather have Aubrey Plaza as the lead.
Yeah.
She's more well known. I know I would like something from her, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was so interesting seeing her in a role like that, because I feel like you're so used to just seeing her in that, like, that dry sort of.
I just always think of April from Parks and Rec. Like instantly I just go there. Yeah. Or even what's her name from Scott Pilgrim too? She's I forget what her name is, but fuck, I'm just forgetting all the fucking names today.
It's all good. I always forget names.
Yeah.
Not last episode. Last episode I was on the fucking
hard,
names,
bro.
Like
I was every single one.
I was happy, dude. It was my time to shine, man. It was Jujutsu Kaisen. I was like, this is my episode.
It's the other thing. It's like doubly impressive too, because like we can't remember. I'm pretty sure her name is something like Jenny or something. Yeah. But you're able to remember like very long and difficult Japanese names. Yeah.
I think that they just fucking sound cool.
That's true, and they do stick out more.
Like Satoru Gojo sounds like a hard ass motherfucker.
Yeah, for sure. You know? Yeah, and then especially to us, it sounds unique. You know, like I'm sure Satoru is like a name that you would probably know if you grew up in Japan or something like that. But
yeah, they're like, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah, but for us, it's like, wow, I've never heard that name before.
Yeah.
Fucking ignorant American pigs we are.
God damn it. Ignorant American pigs. You fucking ignorant American pigs. Oh, God damn it. Shit. That was fucking great, dude.
Oh shit. Sorry. Oh. I had to drop it, you know? I had to.
But yeah, man, we're fresh off of Valdez party, man. I was looking forward to the next one. It was funny because before that party, I was like, damn, when's the next party at Daniel's house?
Yeah.
I like that shit, dude.
Yeah. It's fun. We have a good time. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. I fucking had a great time.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It was I do have to say, these parties are for sure Aceves parties.
Aceves?
Yeah, because that's my mom's last name. That's her maiden name. No, it's okay.
Sorry
Just for everybody out there, I need to make sure that it goes on record. I love the Valdez side of my family. Don't get me wrong. They also know how to party. But that group over there, that's the Aceves group side of things. That's how my mom likes to party. And
I was down. Hey, I was with it.
That's where we learned to party over there. But yeah, man, it was fun. My sister had the bright idea this year of, she's like, hey, our birthdays are literally like 2 weeks apart. Like, we should just do one thing as opposed to like, A, spending more money, and then B, just like stressing out about trying to figure out 2 different things or whatever. So,
exactly.
Yeah, it worked out well, honestly. And like, we were talking about it too, and like, it's less pressure when it's for both of us. Cause like, I feel like if you have like a birthday party, you like, even if it's just like dinner, like, I feel like I'm being rude if I'm not like talking to everybody who's there, you know? And like, there's like this pressure to like host almost a little bit, you know, like make your rounds and stuff. So the fact that it was like for both of us, it just like made it easier to be like, you know, just break off and do whatever.
Yeah,
just
hang out. It was a good ass time. It's always a good ass time, man.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a small little spot. It's nothing too crazy, but the backyard's cozy. And you have the nice little fire pit out there, the little gasoline lit one. It works well.
We got the rage cage going.
Yeah, that was fun. We played a couple rounds of it. I was glad. Yeah, we got to play some fucking Pong. Yeah, he did win. Me and Ev were able to win a round against my cousins, Christopher and Diego. Shout out to the boys, but.
I stepped in, man.
Yeah, Ryan and Diggs beat us. Ryan and Diggs came back and beat us.
Stepped in. I hit the last shot, too.
Yeah. God damn it. Ev, I will say, Ev was hitting some very clutch shots. She kept us in the game, like, at least 2 or 3 times.
You guys were tripping out on my little, like...
The little backhand, man. Yeah, it was funny.
Like I said, in high school, I went to a party one time, and I don't know if who I was playing with or I was watching someone playing, but they were shooting like that, and I was like, dang, I kind of like that. I like that motion, because, like, especially if you get your wrist kind of, like, you know...
Yeah, loose.
Loose like that.
Yeah. Gives you a nice release.
I do also feel like it kind of... I don't know. I like the way it like rolls off the finger.
Yeah, it could give you some arc too, right? Because you're coming from the back. Yeah.
And then you get kind of like the top spin on it, so it kind of like has that lower arc. You know, get a little arc on it, but it kind of like
what though? I will say you might have to watch the spin a little bit, bro, because like I swear to God, like 4 times I saw the ball go in to the cup and like I swear it touched the water and like flew back out, dude. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
It's the name of the game, man.
It's the name of the game.
It happens. You know, you hit the shots when you need to hit the shots.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
it happens when it needs to happen.
Exactly.
Man. Yeah, I love beer pong. I honestly like I think that was like the first drinking game I ever played, as it probably is for a lot of people.
Isn't it funny how it's like not even like a drinking game anymore? Like it's really just a game.
Yeah,
because
you just most of the time, at least when we play, you just fill the cups with water, and if you want, you have a drink, and you drink if you get a cup or whatever. But like, it's no pressure.
When you think about like how it's supposed to be played, and like you drink the beer,
hardcore.
It's nasty. Like when you think about it, it's disgusting.
Because the balls are going into the cup and everything. That's like people touching it. If the ball falls all over the floor and shit,
pretty fucking disgusting. And the beer's just sitting there, you know.
I'm also not...
But I mean, rage cage isn't all that different.
No, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But
at least the balls aren't going into the...
Yeah, because you drink before the ball starts hitting the cup, you know? So there's not that thing. But yeah, I've never been like super partial to like the heavy duty rules that sometimes come with beer pong too. Like if I'm in somebody else's house, I will respect house rules. Like I'm not gonna do that, right? But I'll let you know when we're playing at my house, it's like very amateur blacktop game. Like you're just there to shoot balls and have fun. If you want to make up a rule, I don't give a fuck. If you want to just play an exhibition match, you come play at old Danny Boy's house.
I was like, hey, how many re-racks do we get? And
I was like, I don't know. It's like, I don't care, man. Do as many times as you want.
Well, traditionally, guys, you get 2 re-racks. Yeah.
Papa Jake wanted to be our ref.
And then you get
it very seriously.
Automatic gentlemen's. It's just like a nice thing to do,
Sure, that's
kind of fucked up if you don't do an automatic gentleman's,
Really hardcore. That's a non-gentleman move.
Exactly.
To not give the automatic gentleman.
The gentleman.
I don't know that, actually, but I'm going to go along with it.
I don't know. I think it's like, because think about it. Like, imagine if you fucking make every cup except the one that are like on the opposite ends of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh yeah, those are your last 2 cups. And no automatic gentlemen. So you got to go for either one of those,
Yeah.
Like, I like the gentlemen's at least. Like, if, say you don't make the front one, you have a chance for it to roll and get in the back one,
Sure.
Whereas, like, if you have it, opposite sides where they're not close to each other, you really got to have some precise aim.
What's so funny to me is that, like, I've always, like I said, like, I've always seen beer pong as, like, sometimes I feel like the rules can be very ridiculously hardcore. Maybe I like sometimes people are very intense about the tiniest little things. Like if you burp while you shot, you fucking disqualified or something stupid like that. But so it's funny to me that like a traditional rule is like giving your other opponent like a hand, But I suppose it is called the gentleman.
It's a gentleman thing
so
to
it
do,
makes sense. It does. It's just funny to me where there's like when there's rules of like so many different ways you can fuck over the other team with like these tiny little like mind games and stuff. It's like, nah, but I got you, bro. Here's the gentleman's right here for you. Makes me laugh.
Fuck yeah, dude. But also shout out to your cousin Vanessa.
Yeah, dude.
Major shout out. She is like
big time shout out.
I think she's our biggest fan.
I think so too. She probably out of everybody that has ever talked to us about listening to the podcast, I think you, Vanessa, are the most consistent without a doubt.
She's like, yeah, on episode number 37 at minute number
Yeah. Yeah, they'll have the whole fucking catalog of everything. Yeah. No, but honestly, like straight up 100%, without a doubt, you are probably our biggest fan. And we assume that you will probably be listening to this one. And I want to let you know that I love you very much. And as well as Carlos and Diego, your speech was very beautiful. And I'm pretty sure my friend Jacob has it recorded. So we can get that back to you.
I tip my imaginary cap to you.
Haha. Yeah, it was a fun night. It was cool. Yeah, it was nice. We had a little chance to talk with the homies for a bit about the podcast. That's what I was gonna say earlier. Is it's funny to see like the range of like listeners that we'll have, because like we have like there's the opposite sides of the spectrum, right? Where it's like Vanessa's like listening to all the episodes and like apparently the whole things. Again, double triple shout out because fuck, sometimes we have some real long ones.
I don't even listen to all of them.
No,
I'm just here for it.
Yeah. But and then it's funny because like on the other side too, like my dad is also a consistent listener, but he only listens to like the intros.
Okay.
Because he'll always tell me like, dude, that was so funny when you said this or that. I was like, when did I say that? And he's like, it was in the intro of the podcast. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's why.
I don't remember. Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, dude. Parties at your house are always a good time. It was fucking.
Yeah, it's fun.
It was a fun time.
It's just good people too, man. And
it was also
contribute to those vibes.
It was also interesting the dynamic of like you'd go into your house and there's a completely different song playing than from in the backyard.
Yeah.
I was just like It was just interesting because I would know the song that's playing in the like in the house, and I'm like, oh yeah, fucking singing this song, and then I walk out and I'm like, damn, I can't hear that song no more. But then it's another song, I'm like, oh, I know this song
too. Yeah, no, it's funny. I saw that happen in real time a couple of times. You're like going to one beat and then you like pause for a second and you're like, okay, we're good, keep going. But yeah, it's so funny that you mentioned that because Vanessa was actually lamenting that like earlier in the day because she was like, damn, I wish we could like sync these like Sono style, so it would be perfect. You just go through the rooms and
that would have been cool. But also the 2 different vibes is like it's pretty interesting as well.
I liked it because I felt like it made the like it gave you rooms, like the inside was like going, but like I feel like the outside music was definitely a little bit more up and going, yeah. So it gave them you could talk in the living room if you wanted to hang out in there with some cool jazz. It wasn't jazz, but it's all like elevator music and shit.
Oh goddamn.
Yeah, but yeah, I thank you for coming. Thank you everybody who came. If you happen to listen to the podcast, we both had a good time. So, hell yeah.
I'm right down the street. It'd be pretty sick of me if I didn't come.
Oh, well, it would be disgusting. No, it would be. I mean, if for whatever reason you couldn't make it, I wouldn't hold it against you.
Nah, I'm just not gonna. I
just wouldn't come to do the next episode of the podcast.
If I'm just like, I just can't go, dude. It's too far.
Just immediately text back like, oh, I'm not gonna make it to this weekend, buddy.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. I just can't. I can't drive there. It's quite a bit of a drive.
I did get my mom when she was like, or when she first got there, because she came and like brought us some pizzas and stuff like that. Shout out, mom. Hella fucking came through, and she was like, no drinking and driving tonight. Like, nobody should do that. Obviously, you shouldn't. There's a PSA that we support as well. Do not drink and drive.
Yeah.
But I fucking told her, I was like, well, I can't promise, like, I have to drive Ryan home later. And she's like, well, wait a minute, don't you live around the corner? I got her for a split second.
Yeah, I'm gonna sprint home after.
Yeah. For just a quick minute. She's like, whoa. She's like, I was about to take you home.
Off all these brewskis, I'm gonna just sprint home.
I think one time I want to say it was definitely a guest episode. I want to say it was one when Diggs was here. Mm-hmm. I can't remember, or maybe it was Jake. I don't know. But I left something at the house, and
I think I remember. Yeah.
I just ran, and I'm not gonna lie, it was not fun.
You're also not a runner.
No, I'm not a runner. This is true, and I have asthma. But like, I sprinted because the thing is, it's like I believe that I am still as fast as I was when I was like a 14-year-old, which quite frankly, I think I am even faster simply because I'm taller now. So like I could probably...
A little stronger as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know? So I think I'm pretty fast. Fast as fuck, boy. but
he makes fast people look not fast.
Not fast. But I get ahead of myself in terms of like, my mind thinks that I can do more than what my body probably actually can. So like mentally, I'm like in this like Naruto like last stand state of like, push harder, don't go down, like you can do this. But my body's like, hey man, you've been sitting on your ass for like 7 years, bro.
Yeah. Your mind's the one telling you yes instead of it telling you no.
Yeah, exactly.
And your body's telling you
it's
no.
a good spot to start, I guess, right? Now I just have to do the exercise and then I can be unstoppable.
Yeah, your mind already believes that you can move at the pace at which you want to move at.
I can, yeah. I just have to have my body follow suit. That's all. I've trained my mind. Now I must train my body. Yeah. But yeah, it was good time. I had a great time.
Dude, I fucking went to a fucking Giants game, bro.
Oh, yeah,
Since the last time we recorded.
That was what, like last Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fucking good ass time, bro.
Yeah.
I hadn't been... Me and my family try to go every year. Sometimes it doesn't work out. You know, there are some... I think last year.
You guys try to hit like at least one a year?
Yeah, we try to go to one. Like, we all like baseball. We love going to the baseball games. Like, it's a fucking great time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I grew up playing baseball, so I do have a love for baseball that I'm probably going to have forever. You know, I don't see myself ever not loving baseball. Mm-hmm. But like, it's really hard to watch on TV. Like, it's very rare that I'm going to sit down and watch a baseball game, a professional game on TV.
Yeah.
I'll watch college baseball all the fucking time, and that shit's hella exciting.
Okay. But, college in general is usually a bit more exciting though, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're just like, you know, there's more people that you don't know, and like
they're also all very eager.
Yeah,
to like get to that.
Yeah,
next
exactly.
Level. So
they're not getting paid yet. They want to get paid to be doing that shit. So that's why I like watching like college. So it's very rare that I'll sit down and watch a regular season professional baseball game. Once it hits the playoffs, it's a different story. I'm gonna watch some playoff baseball because that shit's fucking crazy. But yeah, we went to the game. It was fucking sick, man. I had a good ass fucking time. Got pretty fucking buzzed because I still had Cayman Jacks left over from the last podcast.
Oh,
So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna drink one before. I drank one.
Yeah.
Me and my dad smoked a joint before we, you know, took off on the drive. You know, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna take another one for sure. My dad was also like, hey, you gonna roll up a joint for the drive over there? And I was like, say less. Of course. That's all you got to say. You don't even got to ask me.
You're good.
Just be like, hey, roll up a joint. And I'll be like, yeah, duh.
I was already there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then I roll up the joint, and then I go to the fridge, and I get one Cayman Jack, and I'm like, fuck. You know, it's going to be a pretty long drive. There's going to be some traffic. Yeah. Let me just grab another one.
Sure.
So I got 2 for the drive. And
before you even get there.
Exactly. And big brain play for me, because I was like, all right, I'm going to have 2. How am I going to keep the one cold that I'm not going to drink first?
Smart. Yeah.
Brought the koozie.
Beautiful.
The one that I wasn't going to drink first, put it in the koozie.
Yeah.
Just put it in the cup holder.
Let it,
Sip the other one, you know, took me, you know, babied it a little bit, you know, a little babysitter action.
Sure.
Drank it in about probably like, 30 minutes. And
That's
then,
not bad.
and then, gave myself time to chill. And then I was like, all right, now let me take the other one. Got the other one. Ice cold, baby.
Beautiful.
Shout out to the Maz koozies, man. The Maz koozies. Yeah, so I was already 3 margaritas deep, and then we get to San Francisco. And before we even go to the game, we're like, hey, we're pretty hungry. Let's go to like, a little bar and grill action.
Nice.
There was one like 2 blocks away from the stadium. So we go there.
Nice.
Me and my dad got some Moscow mules. My mom got a drink, dude. And these were some bomb-ass Moscow mules. Yeah. Like, you can get a Moscow mule from a place, and it can be hit or miss. You know, it's one of those drinks that is like a simpler drink to make. You know, it's like a margarita or anything like that. You know, it's definitely on the simpler side. But you can fuck it up, you know. You can really fuck it up if you don't do it the right way. This one was really fucking bomb. Really fucking good.
Didn't you say your dad makes Moscow mules?
Oh yeah, he gets down.
Yeah, like really good, right?
Yeah, he gets down.
Yeah.
And
so if he liked them.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, these are good." And I was like, "Fuck yeah." And we got a bunch of appetizers. It was funny cuz we got like nachos, we got onion rings, we got wings. We also got some like some pretzel bread with like cheese and stuff like that.
Nice.
And I think I can't remember if we got one more thing. But it was funny. My mom was like, fuck, did we get like a little bit too much, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Fuck, no, we munched on that shit. It was so fucking
That's
good.
always nice when you just do drinks and, like just a platter, especially if you have a group. Cause
little appies?
Yeah, you just pick off a little bit of everything, you know, and you're good to go.
I was eating a wing. I'd get some nachos, freaking get myself a little pretzel, a little pretzel with some cheese.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, and then we go to the game. And that was fucking awesome. It was Harry Potter night. I got a cup, you know, a little Harry Potter mug.
Harry Potter night?
Yeah.
At the Giants game?
Yeah.
Why?
Why not?
That's cool.
Why not?
Sure.
Why not?
Honestly, yeah.
I broke my cup, sadly.
Ah, damn.
But yeah, it was a fucking great time. I drank some Anchor Steams. That's a beer. That's a beer that's actually brewed in San Francisco. Okay. And the brewery is actually closing down. So this is like one of the last times they're going to sell the beer at like the park. So I was like, I'm going to
try
drink
it
that.
now. Yeah, definitely. Was it good?
It was actually really good. Yeah. It was more of like a darker beer.
Okay.
I'm normally not like a dark beer person.
Yeah.
But it definitely had like a lighter feel to it.
Okay.
So I was really enjoying it.
Good
Didn't have too crazy of like, because I mean, if we're going to be honest, beer doesn't taste good. Like, let's be quite fucking honest here.
No, you acquire a taste for it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it tastes good.
No,
you can start to like the taste.
Yeah. But it doesn't make it good.
But it doesn't taste. It doesn't taste good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I was liking it probably because I was also pretty buzzed already. So I was like, you know, like, hey, got a little bit of sippies right here. So let me just sip on the beer.
Sippies, yeah.
And where we sat was awesome because we sat in right field. And if you've ever watched a Giants game, if you've ever been to the stadium, right field, they have that big brick wall. And it's just awesome to sit there. We sat in the first row, you know, getting to see over right field. The only thing that sucked is I didn't have a fucking cup holder.
Oh, so you just fisting some drinks? Or
so what? I was fisting one drink, and then I was like, you know, I'm just gonna put it on this wall right here because it was perfectly fine, you know. So I was putting it there.
Yeah.
And then I forget what inning it was, but the usher comes over. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to take the beer off the wall." And I was like, "Hey, whoa, hey,
okay, my guy,
I'm
sorry."
good. I'm like, "All right, cool, that's fine, bro."
Yeah.
And I like take it off, and then there's this fucking guy right next to me, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, man, it's for your fucking safety, bro. For the safety of the beer." And I was like, shut the fuck up,
stupid.
First of all.
I know you're trying to be funny, but
shut up, you fucking Reds fan. Get the fuck out. No, crazy. But I didn't say that to him, but I was just like, I like looked at him, I was like, okay, bro.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what the fuck? But
some people just like to chime in like that.
Yeah.
It's not always the right time.
I was like, shut up. I don't know you. You're just there. Yeah. Like, there is like a camaraderie at a baseball game when like you're rooting for the same team.
But if it's somebody repping.
But if you're not rooting for the same team, don't fucking say anything. Don't say shit.
Don't talk to me.
I mean, you can be there. You can be at the stadium. I'm not gonna talk shit to you. I'm not gonna be like, hey, you fucking Reds fan, get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. No, I'm respectful.
You're like, but let's be civil human beings and not talk to each other.
But once you step outside of yourself and you start commenting on shit that's going around you that doesn't concern you, that's when I'm like, all right, shut the fuck up.
Get out of here, bud.
Get the fuck out of here. And he left for like a couple innings ago. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but I was like, God, this is fucking great because fuck this guy.
Thank God I don't have to look at him anymore.
Yeah, but was for sure, like I was talking to my family afterwards, for sure the best Giants game we've been to.
Nice.
100%. They won 6-1.
Dang.
And the pitcher almost threw a fucking no-hitter.
Damn.
And I was completely oblivious to the fact until after the fucking game.
Oh, you just saw the stats afterwards?
Well, we were listening to like the KNBR, like radio, the radio show from San Francisco and stuff like that. And then they were talking about like, oh yeah, fucking Webb almost had he threw a one-hitter. And I was like, wait, what game was I at?
Holy shit.
I was just so caught up in like being at the Giants game and appreciating like, you know, the scenery and like watching just like a good baseball game. And I was like, fuck, this is awesome. Like, I knew he was doing good, but I thought he gave up like a hit in the first inning. So I wasn't like, I wasn't on no hitter watch, you know?
You know what else too is like, I feel like, because I've been to a couple Giants game when I was a kid, and I've been to a couple Warriors games also when I was a kid. But if I remember correctly, I think following stats during a live game is easier when you're watching at home because you have the commentators at the same time. So like if somebody's on a crazy run doing something, they're going to be telling you. Versus like if you're just sitting there talking with your family, you don't know what the fuck's going on. Like you're not sitting there with your fucking pen and paper trying to take down every little thing that happens, you know? Or maybe you are. I don't know. But
it was just so funny because there was this moment in the last inning. There's 2 outs, and then he gives up like the first hit. And, or was it 2 outs? I don't think it was 2 outs. It might have been 1 out. But anyway, he gave up a hit. And no, it was 2 outs. I remember this specifically because it was 2 outs. He gives up the hit. And then everyone just like, once the ball is getting thrown in, you know, everyone's like, yeah, everyone starts clapping. I'm like, damn, shout out to these Giants fans, you know. They're just being super supportive. This guy just gave up a hit right now. And like, they just want to see this guy do well. Yeah. And I fucking love that. And I was like, yeah, let's go.
Little did you know.
Little did I know. And then, you know, we go to the car. We're sitting in the car on the drive home. Oh, yeah, dude almost threw a no-hitter. And I connected the dots. I was like, oh, that's why. That's why everyone was fucking cheering. Because, like, he was doing so crazy.
That's
hella
funny.
Game.
That's pretty funny, honestly.
And I got to see the Reds have this rookie, Ellie De La Cruz. Fool's fucking bad, bro.
Yeah,
that
pretty crazy.
Is a badass fucking baseball player. Plays shortstop. He just makes every play look fucking smooth. He hits the fucking shit out of the ball. Like every time he hits the ball. Like I don't think he got a hit that game, but every time he made contact with the ball, it was hit fucking hard. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that's a fucking hard hit ball. And this dude's been in the majors since I think June. Within his first month of being in the major leagues, he hit for the cycle in a game. So he hit a single, a double, a triple, and a home run.
Damn, crazy.
And like it's very rare that like, you know, seasoned veterans do that.
Yeah.
And this dude did it in his first month in the major leagues.
Yeah.
And he like set like a bunch of records for the Reds, like set a record for like the major league, like within like the first month. Like
again, I feel like it's the same thing we're talking about with like the college stuff, right? Which is like not to say that professional athletes and seasoned athletes don't still have drive. Please do not mistake this. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. However, a young player, especially somebody who's in their very first year, has like way more to prove, whether it's to themselves or fans or the team or whatever.
It's that, but it's also like once you get a few seasons under your belt, especially with baseball, you understand how to conduct yourself through like a long season.
Yeah, because you need to conserve yourself.
Yeah, baseball's 162 games.
Yeah, it's a lot
you know,
of
you
shit.
Start in April, you end in fucking October, November. If you're lucky, you know, if you're lucky to get that far.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you're not going super hard every single fucking day.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why baseball's hard for me to just like watch on TV. Because I know not every day they're going to be playing their ass off, you know. Because it's like, you know, we've been on a fucking stretch where we've been on the road for fucking 10 days in a row. These guys are fucking tired, you know.
I think, you know, I don't know if I want to say unfortunately, right? But like that I think is just a part of sports in general. At least the only other thing that I watch obviously is basketball, but like same thing, right? Like early in the season you're only going to see the starters play for like maybe the first half, and then that's it. They're going to sit them for like the rest of the game.
I mean, that's a long season too. They play like 82 games. Like that's very, especially for basketball when you're fucking running that
as much as you do,
running, jumping, all this shit.
I could imagine it's the same for something like soccer, you know, like I'm sure your star players probably get pulled out very, very early, like in the earlier stages of the season.
Yeah,
stuff like
Messi's
that,
not fucking playing the entire game at the beginning of the fucking season.
No, definitely not. Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is. That's why, because I'm the same way, like, again, with basketball, but like, I won't really tune in until playoffs, because that's when the high level comes out, dude. Yeah, that's when shit goes hard.
Yeah, it's just, it's crazy too. Because, like, when I was younger, I used to be all on, like, every sport. Fucking, I would watch baseball all the time. I knew fucking this guy, this guy, that guy. I knew his stats. Fucking football. It was, when I was younger, like, my parents could be like, oh, like, we'd be watching, like, football on Sunday or whatever, like, NFL football. And, like, there was a very big period of time where they'd be like, hey, what college did that guy go to? And I'd be like, oh, he went to fucking Northern Delaware.
Dang.
You know,
crazy.
And he got drafted in the fucking 3rd round, you know.
Crazy.
So, and I would literally rattle off shit like that.
You had it just lined up in there?
Because I was just so into, like, I was so into, like, NFL football. I was so into, like, college football where I was just like, oh, I know this fucking dude. I know this dude. Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, that dude, he went to fucking Troy, and he got drafted in the fucking 6th round, you know.
You're just in that circle of conversation and stuff at that time,
But, you know, as you get older, you don't get to be as into those things anymore. Like, shout out to everybody that can just keep up with sports all the time, because I fucking cannot.
It is a little tough. I think
you also work a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like you have to just like it's not even like having a love of just the game. I don't think it's like you have to have a love for like that stat tracking, like keeping up with players, like stuff. It's like that's almost like a game within itself. I feel like, you know, like it's like don't they have like the Madden coach game or something like that or whatever?
Well, they have Madden, and I think you can also like
you can play like the coaching mode, right?
Yeah, you can like you can be the coach and like build up like your franchise.
I feel like that's the kind of people that like why that kind of stuff appeals to, you know. It's like
that's fucking crazy.
That shit's hardcore, but I get it, you know. Like shit, if that's your like, I mean, I understand it because it's like it's just fulfilling a fantasy at the end of the day. Right?
Oh yeah,
like that's why you watch any movie or play any video game or.
I mean, shit, I'm gonna play fantasy football this year.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's having that feeling. So I understand it. I get it. Yeah.
I'm excited because I actually like. It's been a long time since I've had weekends off.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't had Sundays off in a while, and I'm gonna get to watch some fucking
nice.
Some NFL football, man. Also, I'm gonna tune in more to some college football because fucking Colorado, they've got a good ass fucking team, bro.
Do they?
Oh fuck yeah. Fucking Deion Sanders is their coach. Do you know who Deion Sanders is?
I don't know.
God damn it, dude. Well, Deion Sanders is like the greatest like cornerback or like DB, whatever he played to play in football. He was just he was just badass. Damn. I mean, there are other people, you know, there's like Ed Reed, there's you know,
but he's part of the conversation.
But like I think he is like that first guy where he was that guy, and he was like, you know, pretty not like super flashy, but he was one of those first guys to be like talking his shit and like backing it up.
Yeah, sure.
And like when he after college, he didn't want to go to the combine or whatever, and people were talking shit. That fool pulled up in a limo, didn't fucking stretch, walks out, runs like a 4.2 40 or something like that, dips out.
Damn.
Gets fucking drafted hella high. He played for like the Cowboys, and he also played for the Niners, won a couple Super Bowls. That fool also played in the major leagues. He also played Major League Baseball.
Oh dang.
And
wow.
He played for the Braves, and he played in a World Series and shit like that.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he good too in baseball?
Oh yeah, he started in baseball. Like it wasn't on some like Michael Jordan shit where he like
just trash or whatever.
I mean, Michael Jordan wasn't trash,
no,
but he wasn't good enough to play like in the majors.
No,
you know?
Yeah.
No, that fool was good. I think like he has like a pretty stupid average for like the World Series. He batted like 533 or something, which is really fucking ridiculous.
Dang, that's wild.
Like batting like 300 is like that's good. Like,
that's crazy to be because to perform at a high enough level to be in any major league sport is already an achievement on its own. So to be able to do that in 2 different leagues is pretty fucking wild, honestly.
Yeah, he's probably the greatest, probably one of the best two-sport athletes. Granted, if Bo Jackson would have never gotten hurt in football, he probably would be the greatest two-sport athlete because that fool is just a freak of fucking nature. Have you ever seen highlights for that fool? Dude, that fool's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson he's just fucking huge, bro. There was one time when he was playing for the Royals and he got like, I don't know if he struck out or something, but he got so pissed he just put the bat on his head and just fucking broke it like that. Like didn't bring it up and like fucking held it on his. It was just on his head and he just fucking just broke it in fucking half.
Oh shit, that's scary, bro.
And that fool was in.
That's crazy.
I think he played right field one game, and literally caught a ball in right field. Some dude tried to tag up from second and go to third. He fucking threw him out and like threw the ball like on the craziest fucking rope I've ever seen anyone throw a fucking ball in my life. Like just on a line.
Damn.
Got him out, and I was like, yeah, that fool was just a freak of fucking nature. But he had some crazy ass like hip injury.
Damn.
Where like he got hit a certain way, and like it wasn't even like a crazy hit, but like he just got hit, and there's like some sort of like vein or something that goes through like your hip. That's like kind of important for like function right there, and I think that like broke or something like that. Yeah,
that's how it takes sometimes. It doesn't even have to be like the craziest hit; it just has to be the right one.
But yeah, Deion Sanders coaches. Now he coaches Colorado.
Yeah.
First he coached Jackson State, which is a HBCU. Turned the whole program around. Won like 11 games in like in a college football season. They only play like 12, 13 games. Or something like
damn!
That. So went pretty fucking crazy. After a few years there, he goes to Colorado, where they obviously sign him. They sign him for like 20-something million or something like that.
Jeez.
Brings a bunch of kids over from Jackson State just because he's that type of coach. He's the type of coach that when he gives a fucking speech, you want to run through a fucking brick wall after. And like he knows how to like instill like a sort of passion into the kids where they like just really give a fuck, and where the guys know like, hey, this dude's here for us, so let's fucking be there for him.
Yeah.
Their opening game was fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah?
They opened up against, not the defending national champs, but this team at TCU. They had been in the national championship the year before.
Mm-hmm.
They opened up against them. TCU's ranked, I think, like 17 in the nation. Colorado's unranked.
Mm-hmm.
So they're opening up against a game. I think they were like 20-point underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
They won 45-42. The quarterback threw for 510 yards.
Damn.
Threw for 4 touchdowns.
Damn.
There was 4 different receivers that had over 100 yards.
Damn.
They have this kid Travis Hunter who plays both offense and defense.
Yeah.
The fool had 4 catches for like 119 yards, and he also had an interception.
That's crazy.
Fool's fucking bad, bro. It's ridiculous watching these fools play.
They got a crazy team then.
Oh yeah, so I'm excited to watch these fools
nice.
play because like it's been a while since like a team like that like was just like super explosive like that. Where I've been like, oh fuck, like there's some dogs out here, bro.
Yeah,
like these are some fools that like they're gonna do some shit for sure.
They're that'll be the Cinderella story this year or something like that.
I hope so.
Yeah,
it's just it's weird because it's like it's a Cinderella story, but it's like not when you like watch the team and you're like, oh, these kids are fucking raw.
Well, because you can actually probably look back at the history, right, of like the work they put. It's not like it's just out of nowhere or anything, right?
Yeah. But it's it's fucking. It was pretty ridiculous.
When do they play?
They play on Saturdays, so they play.
Okay. Oh, so the season's now.
Mm-hmm. They had their first game against TCU, and they beat them 45-42. Yeah, crazy shit. And they play this Saturday against, or when you guys hear, when you guys hear this, it'll be tomorrow on Saturday.
Tomorrow
they play against USC, and I'm excited to watch that because I'm a USC guy,
okay.
And they got a pretty decent squad, But fuck, man, I don't know. I might be rooting for some
Colorado,
some Buffaloes,
Mm-hmm. I'm actually. I was asking because like I'm probably not gonna go, but I want to know if it's happening or not. But I'm gonna be in Colorado in like a couple of weeks with my grandpa for a little bit. Yeah,
probably.
So maybe they'll be playing. Who knows?
They might.
Hey, Grandpa, you want to go see a football game?
You want to go watch fucking Deion Sanders coach?
Is it like I'm sure that you still have to pay admission again to a college game, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a lot.
I don't know.
I wonder how much it costs.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would assume so. Because, last year my parents went to Louisiana, and LSU was playing Alabama, 2 very big schools in college football. And I think tickets to that were like, they said like hella money. It was like $400 or something.
Oh, damn. Yeah, okay. I was honestly, I was way undershooting. Because for me, expensive was going to be like $150.
But it also just depends like who they play.
The schools,
if they play like a very big school, it's probably going to be hella cash.
Yeah, because they know they can make money off of it. Yeah, makes sense. Exactly. Yeah, makes sense. God damn, crazy.
Yeah, guys, go watch some fucking college football.
Go check it out. Go watch some baseball. Go watch some basketball. Follow your local sports teams.
I don't think basketball's on yet.
That's a good point. Almost. Usually starts in like October, right? Basketball season, or preseason does?
I don't know. I can't.
I just remember.
Isn't it like Christmas time?
Well, Christmas time is usually when they do the rematch, the finals rematch, and that's usually like a ways into the season. Not like hella, but at least like I think like.
Let's see. We have Google at our disposal.
That's true.
We're just not using it at all.
We're pretending like that. Every time we do this, it always reminds me of that episode of How I Met Your Mother where Ted's explaining how like before smartphones, like you used to be able to spend hours on like one topic of something, because you and your friends would just like go back and forth about what was the right answer and this and that. And then it cuts to them all on their phones and they like find the answer within a second, which is very, very convenient. Don't get me wrong. I very much appreciate the internet, but
October 24th.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Wow, that's a long October through April. That's a long ass fucking season. That's good though, because it's like baseball ends around that time, and then basketball picks up.
They
and
definitely
also
have it
football.
planned. Yeah, because there's never if you're a fan of every major league sport, then you're never gonna not have something to watch. Pretty much, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
Is there ever off season where it's
because there's always something. Whether if it's not like the big 3 with like
football, baseball, basketball.
Yeah. There's soccer,
like hockey too. Yeah,
soccer. There's hockey. There's a bunch of shit. Now
rugby.
They have hella shit on. Like you can even go on like ESPN2 or any of the some of the ESPN channels, and they'll show like random shit like professional fucking cornhole or like shit
that's
like
kind of cool.
Yeah, and there's tennis. Like if you're into tennis, like there's tennis.
That's a big one. Yeah,
there's golf. Golf goes pretty. Golf is pretty. I don't think golf is year round, but
very often throughout the year.
Golf is very often.
Yeah, rugby's always crazy. I've seen rugby highlights before, and that shit trips me the fuck out. Because
that's it. You got to be a different breed of human being to play rugby.
You just have to. I feel like you just have to want to fight, like just all the time. Like you just got fight in your bones.
Look at those dudes. Like I would be fucking scared. Like if you had to like go to war against those people. Like if it was like, hey, fight these people to the death, I'd be like, actually, can I be on that side?
Yeah. This is a white flag that I have here.
Yeah, I will wave this proudly. I will lay down on the ground.
Yeah, no thanks. No, that shit's scary, bro. Honestly, that would be funny. Is like I don't know how you would do it, but like take like league athletes and pit them against each other in like I don't know something stupid like. Capture the flag or something. I don't know. Damn. Like a completely different game, but just like take athletes from different like corners of the world and just see how they stack up against each other.
In whenever they do like at the end of this NFL season, they do like the Pro Bowl and stuff. They have like their like little Pro Bowl games that they do, and one thing they do is they play dodgeball.
Oh, cool!
And that's pretty sick to fucking watch them because fools just are throwing the ball hella hard,
crazy. Yeah.
And they're just making crazy catches.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. See, yeah, I like that, like, because I've always liked the,
They hit this like it's a...
Yeah, I will take a couple of hits. I do have to be very careful, though.
Be careful.
I will.
Be careful. Whoa.
I know. Baby hits. Do you do it? I used to get called baby lungs all the time.
It's all good, man.
Because I have asthma, okay, so that's pretty messed up, honestly. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, all you guys call them baby lungs, you guys are a piece of shit.
Kind of fucked up. No, I'm just kidding. But, no, yeah, it's like I like when they're doing the All-Star weekend for the NBA. I always like the skills challenges and stuff like that because I just like to, as much as I like watching the game, these are like high-level athletes that can probably do a lot of stuff. So it's like fun to see them like flex. Like that's why the All-Star games are always so fun, because like they just get to like have fun and just literally just fucking flex, like just do crazy shit all the time. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I always like watching like anytime there's like a celebrity type game, like the celebrity basketball games are cool. Those are
fun too.
The celebrity softball games, I'm always a big.
Some people get down, bro. Dude, it's kind of funny, honestly. It's a
pretty
trip.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember one of the most surprising ones, like back when I was a teenager, was when fucking Biebs would play basketball, bro. Justin Bieber wasn't terrible. You mean he wasn't awesome, but he wasn't terrible.
J. Cole's a good fucking basketball player.
Jack Harlow's not too bad either.
Just because he's a white man can't jump doesn't mean he's
no, but I mean I would. We're going
he's
off of
he's a in your paint. He's a in the paint guy. He's gonna get you He's gonna get you a good amount of rebounds, but he's not gonna score a lot of points.
That's fair, but that doesn't mean that's not a good player, right? The game's not just about scoring points. But I'm also coming at it from like, maybe he's an amateur player for sure, but I would classify any celebrity as an amateur player. Like I don't think that like. I could go up against Jack Harlow, or like any general regular people could take him.
Jack Harlow.
I don't know, dude.
He's got size on me for sure. He's for sure that fool's like 6'3" or something like that. I'm nowhere near 6'3", but
you think you could take him still?
Hey, hey, dude, I'm a hard worker, man. I'm a guy that's gonna come off the bench and I'm gonna give you like some hard minutes, Some
hard minutes.
I'm gonna come back sweating. I might have a few bruises, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna dive after a ball.
Gonna go out there and play.
I don't care if you got a foot on me. I'm gonna go up for a fucking rebound. I'm gonna box you out as best as I can.
Yeah, sure. You put the effort in.
I'm an effort guy. All right.
I feel it.
I mean, like I said, may not score a lot of points. I had my time when I was in middle school.
Yeah, of course.
I was a pretty decent point guard.
Sure,
not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Yeah. But hey, dude. I'm a play hard type of guy.
Yeah, man. You do what you got to do. You get out there and you leave it all on the floor, man.
I'm a ass buster type of guy. I'm gonna be on you like flies on shit, bro. I'm gonna freaking follow you around. See, I remember specifically there was this one time in fucking middle school where I forget what fucking school we were playing. But like this dude just started scoring hella points. And my coach was like, hey, you gotta fucking just follow him around and guard him. And I was on that dude's ass the whole game. And I was just like, what's up, bro? No, you're not fucking scoring any more points now. And now we're fucking winning. What's good? So I would bring that to the table.
That type of energy.
Yeah. I wouldn't let him fucking breathe. I'd be on him. Yeah. Fucking hands in his face. Fucking doing all this shit.
I feel like when I was a kid, when I played, there was this one kid on our team because I think I played 6th. I either played 6th, 7th, and 8th, or I just played 7th and 8th. I can't remember, but I played like pretty much all of middle school. And there was this one kid who was always on our team, and his name was RJ. And this fool was like fucking stupid good, especially for like the age group that we were at. Like he probably could have been playing.
I think I might.
You know who I'm talking about?
I think I might know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was he was around.
He lived here in Taiwan? Yeah, I for sure know who you're talking about.
Homie was crazy. Like at a bunch of different stuff too. Yeah, I was going to say he was just like all around a really good athlete. And so like I remember like most of the time, more often than not, he was like good enough to just like carry the team. So like we just had fun when we got to play because like it was never really high. I do remember actually one time there was one game that we played. I think the school was called Crossroads or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Like a charter school.
Yeah, and it fucking actually cracked me up because like I remember one year we played them and we were all fucking tiny compared to them. So it was like the most demoralizing game ever because you just couldn't do anything. Like it didn't matter. We didn't have enough skill as like 12 and 13-year-olds to overcome the size difference, you know? But then it was hilarious because we played them again the next year and like just the whole roster had switched. So we were way bigger than them. And I remember it was just like, you little bastards. Yeah, it was so fucking good. It was so nice. But yeah, most of the time it was just fun. I also played point guard too. I fancied myself pretty good. I didn't really score a whole lot.
You're a facilitator.
I did,
you don't need to score.
My most prized moment of San Juan School, middle school Padre basketball.
There we go.
Was I remember one of my teammates, Dominic Romer, he was a guard. He was super, super good at shooting. And we got the ball. My friend Lino got the tip off. I got the ball, passed it to Dominic, and we scored before like 5 seconds had passed. Like it was that quick. Like it just boom, 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 and he shot it. And everybody was like, whoa! It was a great way to start the game. I loved it.
Fuck it.
Yeah, it's good shit. Coolest assist I ever had in my life.
Hell yeah. I think I had like a buzzer beater one time, and it was like one of those ones where you look back and you're like, oh, you got lucky on that one. For sure. Because I think I was like falling back and I kind of just like threw it.
Yeah.
And I swished it and everyone's like, ah! And I was like, that was me.
That was me. I do remember, I think I had an and one buzzer beater one time and I did make the free throw. So that felt good. I do remember that. But more than that, I remember the very first shot that I made.
Oh, yeah.
Randomly enough. And it just like makes me laugh so much because like, I think I've told you this before, but like I was really, really short for like a super long time. I was like 4'10", 4'11", maybe 5 feet until I was like a sophomore in high school.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I didn't hit my growth spurt until way fucking later. So
I just never hit mine.
Just never. God damn. But my very, very first year, I remember like I was a pretty timid player. Like I had the speed racer goggles, you know, for my glasses. I had shoes that were like big for me because like I'm a skinny dude now. So you can imagine I was a skinny kid back then, right? So like wasn't the most active on the floor my first year. But I do remember like right before the season ended, I was like right under the basket in the paint and I got the ball and I just remember like spinning, throwing the ball up, turning around and not even looking, and then just like slow-mo of like, oh my God, I just shot the ball. What the fuck? And then just hearing people like, yeah, and I look and I was like, I made it.
Dang, like, dude. So you pulled a Steph Curry before Steph Curry, bro?
Yeah, I guess so.
Steph Curry's doing the Daniel Valdez out there, bro?
No, that's ridiculous.
Dude, it sounds like he is, bro. It sounds like homie just saw like...
You know, if you check the timeline, he might have still been doing that back then because I think he started doing that in like college.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Nah, you got to take credit for that. You got to take credit for it.
Call me Curry. Let's have a conversation. You can have credit. I just want to meet you. Yeah, man.
Yeah, guys, that was our once in a blue moon sports.
We're also a sports podcast.
Yeah. We're a sports podcast. We're a math podcast.
Science, history from time to time. Yeah. Obviously, movies. Yeah,
but you know, we're an educational podcast here.
Yeah. Jack of all trades, master of all.
Going to school, guys. Just listen to our podcast.
To the podcast. Yeah. You'll be fine.
Just listen to our podcast.
We cover everything that you need to in school on the first 4 episodes. And then after that, it's just fun.
Yeah, you're good. The first 4 episodes is like, that's like your first 4 years of, you know, that's your 4 years of college right there.
Yeah, and then you're good. And that's it. You don't need anything else. Yeah.
What do you want a master's for? You could just, you know, listen to TH4TV.
Get a master's in podcasts.
Listening to 4 episodes of podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. You'll be good. I mean, that's essentially what masterclass is. Yes, please. But obviously, like, way more like structured and professional. But it's the same thing. You're essentially just doing class online. Yeah, that's all, you know?
But it's like actual professional.
Hey, all it takes to call yourself a professional is to get paid for what you're doing. So if we can figure that out, it's very easy for us to call ourselves professionals. Just need to get sponsored by Maz Koozies or something like that.
Koozies.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I agree with that. However, I produce music. I do not produce music as well as Timbaland.
Oh, that's fair. No, yeah, that's true. But
there is.
I think you know what else though too is like, what's a random thing that popped up into my head, but like, I saw this thing the other day that I really, really liked, which was for anybody who uses the word amateur, amateur as like negative, go fuck yourself, because the word amateur, like where it comes from in its like native language, I forget what it is literally just for the love of doing it. Like you literally just do it because you love it. So which is I understand that professionals probably also do what they do because they love it as well. I'm not trying to say that,
but they just get paid.
Yeah, they just get paid because they're doing it on a crazy level, and you know, sometimes it's only because they're tapping into what everybody else is into. Maybe they're not the best, but they still make money.
Back to a sports talk real quick, because like when baseball players are in like the minor leagues, they're still technically professionals because they're getting paid.
Yeah.
They're not getting paid a lot, I'll tell you that much. They're getting paid like the bare fucking minimum. But
if you want to go with what the on paper definition of a professional is, I'm pretty sure all it is just getting paid to do what you're doing.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, that was our sports talk that we have every
This is Sports Center.
Now and then. Now time for the top 10.
Now time for the top 10 plays of the week.
I needed to watch that shit before I went to school when I was younger.
Just so you could be like up on stuff, or like because it was just a personal pleasure for you?
Personal pleasure, and like that's just like the end of Sports Center. So I'd always wake up early, watch like Sports Center, get ready, and then before we leave to school, catch the top 10. Because sometimes there's a crazy fucking play in there. We're like, fuck, bro. You go to school. Did you see the fucking top play on Sports Center? See that fucking guy? Oh, back to the Giants game. I also saw a dude make a sick fucking catch, bro.
Yeah.
He was in center field and ran, fucking dove, and like barely caught it. And obviously, I went fucking crazy. Everyone went fucking crazy. I was like, especially when I'm like buzzed. Like,
of course.
Dude, me buzzed at a baseball game, I'm fucking
on one.
On one, bro.
Ready.
Especially if I see a play like that. And it was great because everyone in the crowd knew, oh, this dude fucking caught it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone in the crowd knew, hey, this guy fucking caught the ball. Or, you know, we're fans. We want to believe he caught the ball.
Yeah,
but we knew, hey, he caught the fucking ball. You know, with baseball, they have replay and everything. So, hey, you know, send it to replay. They wanted to replay it to make sure. Fuck. We watched it on the Jumbotron. He does, like, it looks like it's a trap almost. Like he kind of traps it. But, no, the ball just straight goes into the glove. Nice. Once we saw that in slow-mo, everyone... Yeah,
dude, honestly, I love those moments so much because like I feel like it's like a double-edged sword, right? Because like it's either so fucking satisfying to like hear, whether you're watching it on TV or at home, honest, or if you're actually there, like to hear the fans like just cheer in like affirmation of like, that's right, motherfuckers, I told you. But then there's the opposite side of things where you're like really going hard on like, yeah, fuck you, and then the refs are like, nope, that wasn't it. You're like, well, you're a fucking bad ref. All of a sudden.
That's when you're like, oh, that was a fucking bad call.
Yeah,
that was terrible.
Exactly.
That was a fucking terrible
immediately.
Call.
But if you see the same thing happen to the other team, fair play.
Yeah.
100% fair play.
Oh, come on.
Ridiculous.
He trapped the ball. What do you mean he fucking caught it? He trapped the ball.
That's just the rules of sports, okay? Everything is fair when it happens to the other team, but it's completely unfair when it happens to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The refs are stupid when it comes to calling teams for your place. Don't ever forget that.
Yeah, but that was a fucking... That was probably one of the top moments of watching fucking going to actual
live baseball.
Fucking baseball game. I saw that. I actually got to see a home run too, which was fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
And just all around fucking
sounds like a good time.
Yeah, we got to go to a baseball game, dude.
I'd be down, honestly. Game. I haven't been to one in years, at least 10 years.
We also got to go to a hockey game. I've never been to a hockey game before.
I haven't either.
But I've heard they're super fun.
Yeah, Buddy also really wants to go to one, and I think Diggs might be able to get tickets. Might.
Hey, either way, I'm fucking down.
Yeah,
we'll
just get some. I don't think they can't be that expensive.
Dude, I can't. I mean, the Sharks haven't been good in a while, so I can't imagine.
We could probably. And if anything, we just go run an early season game and hope be a little cheaper. You know.
Hell
yeah. I just want to go for the experience. I've heard they're really fun.
Hell yeah.
I'm down. I'd be down.
Hell yeah, brother. Let's check out some hockey.
Hell yeah. But all right, that's officially the end of our sports talk. Now to get into a little bit of other talk. Before we get into our movies, there is something important that we need to talk about. Because, like I said last week, we're going to come back with a review every single week of Ahsoka. Because we like Ahsoka.
Yeah. Episode 3.
And we got to keep you guys up to date.
Let's do it.
Even though, we got to keep you guys up to date. So,
Ahsoka episode
we'll keep
3.
We'll keep it really quick. We'll keep it short and sweet. So
Here,
we don't
I'm gonna
take too
give
long.
us. How much time do we want?
Let's give us.
I'm gonna time us.
How long do you think? Let's give us
10 or 15.
Let's 10. I feel like 15's
too long. Okay, we're gonna do 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Starting now.
10 minutes. Go. So episode 3 of Ahsoka pretty much picks up right where episode 2 left off.
Yeah, you get Sabine like recovering and stuff.
Ahsoka and Sabine go off into space. They gotta go. Hey, we're gonna go look for Thrawn. We're gonna go see what's up with the shit.
Chase after the orb.
It's a nice episode. We get a nice little training montage between Ahsoka and Sabine, which was badass. It was cool. Fucking great.
Very remnant of classic stuff.
Mm-hmm. We also get a really nice space dogfight. You know, physics-wise, there are some things that go on that you're like, hey, it's questionable, but
ships shouldn't be able to turn like that anyways in space.
I'm not talking about the ships. I'm talking about some other stuff. Yeah, flip it in space.
I get it, but like
it's Star Wars. It's Star Wars.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but so we have like some nice touching moments with Ahsoka and Sabine as they're trying to fight off, Shin, and then the other, we have Merrick in there as well, and like I don't know who else is in the other.
It's just like I think
fighter, just a random
generic guys.
Just a generic bad alien.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we have Ahsoka and Sabine. They fight him off. They get away. They go onto the planet, which is Cetos, because they're obviously going after Balin and seeing where they're fucking going.
Yeah.
And then the episode ends, and that is episode 3. That is basically what episode 3. I thought it was pretty good. I liked all the stuff that went on. I thought the training montage was cool. I thought the dogfight was awesome. Because again, that shit's classic Star Wars.
Yeah. It also had very classic dogfight like vibes to it too. Because I got I got the nostalgia of the first one that you see in New Hope of like Sabine running back to the gunner and like calling out their shit across the ship and stuff. Yeah, it felt very like Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was good.
I liked the episode. I really wish it was longer. Like the 30 minutes was not cutting it for me because like you think about it, like there's really like 2 things that happen in the episode. It's Sabine and Ahsoka with the training, and then they get in the fight, and then they go on the planet, and that's it. Like, that's kind of the episode, which is, like I said, a lot of the stuff that happened was really cool. I liked it a lot. I thought what they did was really nice. I just don't think it was, like, an episode that pushed the story forward too much at all. And I don't think we, like, learned anything new about, like, any other characters. Like, not even with, like, Ahsoka and Sabine. Like, I don't think we, like, learned anything new about their, like, relationship. Because obviously it's stuff that Rebels fans don't even really fucking know about. Because they don't even really fucking talk to each other. And it's just, I feel like there's a lot that we haven't been given yet that I would have liked to have at least gotten a tiny taste of with this 3rd episode,
Yeah. I was down for the length. We had like a tiny conversation about this over text already, but I wasn't. For me, going off of the first 2 episode premiere, this is a fine little stop off point for me before we get into the rest of the season. Because like I was saying this a long time ago, which is that like I don't know how much they can do with the show overall, because it doesn't seem to me like a IP that they want to like run for seasons and seasons and seasons. It feels like there's a very specific story that they want to tell, and they're going to take, as I would hope, as little amount of time as it takes to take that. So there's no fluff, right? But I think it's a symptom of that, because I don't know that we're further along than I thought we would be. Ahsoka and Sabine are already on the planet where the coordinates are to go find Thrawn, which is very quick to me. If we have 8 fucking episodes in this season, then that's way faster than I thought we'd be there. So the fact that it was a little shorter makes me feel that hopefully the next ones should be pretty jam-packed with stuff regardless of the length. But like I'm okay with the fluff taken out is my thing, because like by the end of the season, I'm just placing hope in the filmmakers here, right? Obviously, or producers, TV show makers, whatever you call them. But I think by the end, it won't feel like there was any time wasted. I could see how right now it feels that way because we're barely starting, and you want to keep getting as much as possible. That I do want that too, especially with Merrick, because that's another thing that I want to talk about before we hop off of this topic really quick. It's just the identity ideas about him or whatever. But
Galen Merrick?
That's so, because I heard that he might have let slip that he was in Ahsoka, the actor who plays him.
Yeah.
Because in the...
it's Sam Witwer, right?
Sam Witwer, yeah. And in the game, they actually face captured him. So to bring him back as an actor would be a pretty cool payoff. So I did see something that said he might have let slip that he's a part of the project. We still have 5 minutes. We're good.
Oh, beautiful.
We're chilling. I thought we were at like 10 already.
Yeah.
But I still don't know that would be like a super satisfying payoff because I don't think a lot of people know who that is.
Yeah. And I think without, like, if you guys don't know who Starkiller is, he's basically Darth Vader's apprentice. Yeah, secret apprentice.
Non-canon anymore.
Yeah, if you guys haven't played the Force Unleashed games, you guys should, because those are some great fucking
super
games.
Fun. If
really
you want like Force, if you want to indulge in just like using the Force in ridiculously stupid ways, best shit ever. He's ridiculously OP.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would be satisfying if it was Starkiller in this series, because I think what makes it satisfying is knowing that Darth Vader has this like secret apprentice.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the whole thing around it is like, damn, that'd be crazy if Darth Vader had a fucking apprentice, you know, and putting yourself in the shoes of the apprentice, blah, blah, blah.
It'd be kind of weird if they just pulled that out of nowhere, though.
Yeah. Like, this guy's name is fucking Starkiller.
Yeah, and he's actually been his apprentice all along. Like, it would just be kind of weird. I don't know. Yeah. But I also am not a fan of it turning out to be Ezra. I don't really like that idea, but from what I saw in this episode, it inched me closer to believing that it is Ezra.
I've leaned more towards it might be Ezra, like, in disguise.
Oh, like he's playing the part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe,
cool.
Like maybe when him and Thrawn went to wherever they went to, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe they got separated. Thrawn maybe somehow found his way back. You know.
You know that.
And Ezra was like, "Fuck, I gotta go back."
Yeah.
You know, and maybe he didn't want to involve like the Ghost Crew on some like crazy shit. You know.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because this series is very obviously based off of the old book series written by Timothy Zahn called Heir to the Empire. And I'm pretty sure it's in the third book of that one. This might be a completely different story and I could be fucking this up, but somewhere in Legends canon, there is a bit where Palpatine comes back and
somehow Palpatine returned.
And Luke does that. He goes to the dark side and becomes Palpatine's apprentice, but as like obviously undercover and shit like that. So there's substance for it, right? Like in the material that they're pulling from. So that'd be cool. I could see it. I'd be down.
I think that would be more satisfying.
Yeah. Because then he's not like a thrall. If he's just like a fucking minion.
It'd be more satisfying than him being like, oh, he somehow got fucking turned to the dark side. You know?
That'd be bullshit. I'd be pissed.
Like there's no Sith around him to turn him to the dark side. Granted, he has like dabbled in dark side, you know, the dark side of the Force, but not in any way where he's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be especially after what he did, being such a selfless thing of like, hey, I love you guys, but I'm gonna I'm gonna take myself and Thrawn away into the depths of space that we don't even fucking know, because he's this threat that I have to protect you guys from. You know,
I could be down with the idea that Ezra has like lost his way a little bit and has maybe turned toward, because I don't think that you would need to necessarily have a Sith in the mix to turn to the dark side. Like I think if you're a powerful Force user like Ezra is, and you experience hardcore negative emotions while also being isolated in a corner of the galaxy that you've never seen before, I see a possibility of him like getting darker, but not to the point of him putting on a fucking Inquisitor suit, like the literal people that he used to fight in the rebellion, you know? So like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it'd be satisfying, but the main reason that I was mentioning of like what inched me a little closer to that conclusion is he has like zero agency. You never see Merrick do anything in the first 2 episodes. He just like fights like a robot. Yeah. And then the first reaction that he has in the show so far that I've like really seen is he reacts to the Purgles, the whales. There's a shot of him flying when they're diving through all of them. Super cool sequence, by the way. Fucking beautiful. And he like stops for a second. And he like looks back at them really quick. So I was like, fuck, better not fucking be Ezra,
maybe.
Bro. That's it, but there's very, very small hint. Yeah. It's not anything to go off of. It's completely conjecture, but I did get the vibe.
The Purgles and that shit looked fucking sick. That was awesome. They look beautiful. Getting to see them in live action.
Cool. Yeah, and getting them diving in and out of all of them, fucking losing them in the fog and stuff was crazy cool.
I will say the money has been well spent on.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Everything looks like I said last week. Like everything, like has this grand scale to it. Like this big movie, like cinema scale to it, but just in a show.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Which. Yeah, it's a nice change of pace from like other Disney properties that are shows that don't necessarily look as nice.
No, I think honestly, I would say it's like in terms of production value, for me, it's probably this and then Loki and then Mando and then WandaVision. Like, WandaVision's a different type of production value. I think some people don't see the difficulty that went into making that show. That's a completely different conversation. But that show has ridiculous production value. Don't discount it, because there's a lot of different shit happening in that show. But yeah, but it's far and few in between. They have so many shows for only 4 of them to be on that list. It, for me, is like, it's a small pocket of them who are using that CG budget well.
All right, this was our 10-minute Star Wars talk. Real quick before we move on, what do you want to see from episode 4?
Honestly, I have no expectations, and I'm like happy with that, because like I think the first 2 episode premiere blew me away so hardcore in terms of like how much it felt like Star Wars, but how different it was, that like I have no idea what's happening, and I'm totally cool with it, and I'm super happy about it.
Nice.
It's all brand new.
Awesome. Beautiful.
What about you?
For me personally, like I think expectation wise on like things I see, like I don't have any like crazy expectations on that, but I just want more like depth from the story, a little bit more. Like I feel like we could be going into Baylan and Shin a little bit more, but we just kind of haven't yet, you know. And I think this last episode was like a good opportunity to kind of maybe mirror the relationships of Ahsoka and Sabine, and then Baylan and Shin, you know.
You know what else is unfortunate? Because I thought about that as well, and the follow-up thought that came to me was this unfortunately might be a product of the fact that Ray Stevenson passed away.
Yeah.
And so they might have had a lot of setup that they wanted to follow through with in like later seasons, stuff like that they just might not be able to do anymore. Because I had the exact same thought. I was like, wait, yeah, this is a good point to pivot over. But that, you know what else though? That could also be next episode, because the next episode is the halfway point.
That's true.
So it could be big.
Yeah, but I just don't want that to come at the halfway point. Like, give us a little bit of both. Like, not that you have to make them these super like relatable, like understandable characters and understand why they're like, you know, oh, they're doing bad things, but I get it, you know. But like, give them like just a little bit more to where like I understand why they're doing what they're doing, because at this point they're just bad guys being bad guys.
I think they're also it feels very much to me, and like practically every conversation that they take place in, that they're setting up some kind of twist as well. So I think that's probably why they're like holding back on trying to give them backstory, because Baylan is somebody for sure. Like, they're going to do some kind of weird retcon where like he helped train Anakin with something, or they fucking fought once, or some bullshit like that. You know, there's like so much gray area in the Clone Wars section of stuff.
I've seen
he's going to have history there.
I've seen he might have been Qui-Gon's first apprentice.
Okay, yeah.
Theory out there.
That could be cool. I like
hit
that.
This against her, or are you good?
I'm okay. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, the asthma. I don't want to have to start puffing the inhaler.
I got you.
I would be down for that. I like that. Other random thing really quickly, because I was super tripped out when I thought about it, but fuck, what's his name? The robot? Huyang says to Ahsoka or Sabine, or to both of them, he's like, you come from a long line of non-traditional Jedi. And I started tracing everything back, and I tripped, bro, because from Ahsoka goes to Anakin, from Anakin goes to Obi-Wan, from Obi-Wan goes to Qui-Gon, from Qui-Gon to Dooku, and then Dooku to Yoda.
Yeah.
Which is wild. That's like the greatest lineup of masters you could ever possibly hope for.
Yeah.
No wonder Ahsoka's the fucking best.
When he said that, I literally thought the same thing. I was like, fuck, what is this line? And you just go through it and you're like, damn.
Yeah. No wonder Ahsoka's the coolest. Like,
she is the fucking
it makes
coolest.
sense. She's got so much fucking Jedi lineage in her training. It's like, fucking good shit, dude.
Yeah. But all right, guys, that was our true 10 minutes of Star Wars. More like 12 13 minutes of Star Wars. But hey, it's all good. For the fact that we did the 10 minutes.
We usually do like a 45, right? Yeah. So we cut off a lot. Yeah.
But all right, now time to get into what I like to call a little meat and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, the appetizers are good.
The main course is time now, though.
But when you have a nice steak and a nice, you know, some good mashed potatoes.
Classic.
I'm ready for that shit. But all right, what do you want to start? What do you want to start with first? Because we have this week Shaft and
Willy
also
Wonka.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
Not to get anyone confused.
Yeah, not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
My guy over here had a good idea, because I was like in the middle of the week, I was like, "Fuck, dude!" Like,
we didn't have anything.
Like, we didn't have anything. Normally, I'll come forward and be like, hey, like, let's do this, or like, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like, I was like, fuck, like, I don't got anything. So I was like, hey, like, what do you want to do? And he had this good idea of whenever we don't know what we want to do, we will just take
the episode that we're on, the number, and you put a 19 in front of that, and you get a year of probably great movies, especially since we're in the 70s, 80s, and 90s now.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And guess what, guys? This is episode number 71. So we're talking about a couple movies from 1971. That includes Shaft and Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, I'm down. I have more notes about Willy Wonka. As much as I loved Shaft, nostalgia took over when I watched Willy Wonka. So I probably have more to say about that. So
yeah, let's do some Shaft. Let's do some Shaft first, and then we'll
transition into some Willy.
So Shaft. If you guys don't know what Shaft is, I will bring up the synopsis for you.
Good old fashioned. I was very tripped out because I was under the impression that this version was the Samuel L. Jackson. I did not realize that was a remake of this movie. So I was pleasantly surprised coming into it, honestly.
Hell yeah. So, John Shaft, played by Richard Roundtree. Sick-ass fucking name.
Honestly.
It's almost like Richard Roundhouse.
Yeah.
Like, imagine.
But it's nice, though. I like it.
So, John Shaft is the ultimate and suave black detective. He first finds himself up against Bumpy, played by Moses Gunn, the leader of the black crime mob. Then against black nationals, and finally working with both against the white mafia who are trying to blackmail Bumpy by kidnapping his daughter. It's a pretty good synopsis. I say
it's pretty much the movie.
I'll say sometimes like Google doesn't do very well on these.
Definitely not. That's pretty good.
Hell yeah.
It's a very simple movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I honestly did not know what to expect from this movie.
Yeah.
Early 70s, like, movies probably weren't like the greatest in terms of like production, right? Like when we think of movies being produced now, like pretty ridiculous, ridiculous the things we get to see.
Well, we've come a lot farther in terms of what you can do with a lesser budget, I think.
Exactly.
As well, too.
Exactly. And I was pleasantly surprised by this because, like, not only was like the acting really, really good, but I liked a lot of the shots. Like, I think a lot of the cinematography was really well. Like, a lot of the different shots they use. Like, the one that sticks out to me is like literally in the very beginning when it's just the aerial shot of him like walking through. Like that's
dodging through the cars and shit.
Like that's so awesome to me. Like I don't know why, but I think I just like that because it makes me wonder if like, okay, is he actually walking through a set or is he really just walking through actual shit going on?
I think they've actually just dropped him in the city. And they went for it. At certain times, that's how it feels. Like you can tell when they're sets, obviously, like especially when they get into some of the more violent stuff. But at times, it really does feel like he's just walking down the street, and it gives like a lot of atmosphere to the movie. The whole time you feel like you're in New York.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the character of Shaft is just, he's an awesome fucking dude. Like they said, dope, he's just like super suave,
smooth as fuck, bro.
Just super smooth, fucking knows everything to fucking say.
He just knows everybody.
Just knows everyone.
And as a random person can walk up to him on the street and he's like, "Hey, Billy, how you doing?"
Yeah,
yeah.
And like, just the connections he has with like everyone in the city's fucking is
awesome.
Is cool to fucking see. Yeah, it was just fucking sick, man. I did not expect what I saw for sure. No. The story wasn't that bad either. Like it's not something that was like super boring. Like it was pretty like it had me like, all right, cool. Like I'm pretty invested into this. Like it's a pretty simple story, right? Like he's a guy that he does his thing, and then all of a sudden he's a detective, and then they get roped into like a kidnapping, right? Yeah. So it's not super complex, but I think what they do with the story is really nice,
and also just the style of it more than anything. Yes. I think it has so much style and personality. Like you're right, it is a very typical crime detective story. Like how many movies have you seen where a mobster comes to like the cop and is like, "Listen, you're the only one who can get this done. They got my daughter. I need you to help her out." But it
doesn't work without the personality that like obviously like Richard Roundtree brings by playing John Shaft, but also like you said, like the atmosphere set up. You feeling like you're actually in this story. You're in New York and you're watching these things fucking go on. Yeah. It's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the music does a lot as well too. We were talking about this from time to time. Yeah. Shaft. Yeah, it's really fucking stupid good. Like honestly, 99% if not 100% of these tracks are like I like to listen to film scores and game scores and TV scores. Like I like soundtracks in general, but I would put this on a completely different list. I think a lot of these songs are just very like listenable. That's not a word, I don't think, but
we just made it
up. A lot of these songs are very listenable too. Whatever. I don't know. My vocab's fucked up. They're easy listens. There you go. That's easy. That's better. It's not because they're groovy. They're soulful. Sometimes they're like literally just like funk jams. Like some of it is a little tense. Like maybe it doesn't work. That's why I said like 99%. But I feel like most of it you could select shuffle on the soundtrack, and if you're fucking like driving around at sunset in the city, perfect vibes. Yeah. You're good to go. Like you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, like I said, it's super funky. Like I love like just all like the guitars, all the fucking like you get the like all the drums, like the pace of the drums. I think is what I liked most about the score, because I'm very much like I really love like the upbeat tempo.
Yeah.
Like when I hear like the 16th notes like in the beginning, like I like that, because when I produce music, like I like to produce at like those higher tempos, because it adds like a certain bounce and like a certain energy, groove. Like you get that energy and like that, like the music in the beginning paired with the shot of him walking through the city was just absolute like bliss. Like I don't have any other better word to describe it than just really like good. Than bliss, because it's like a really interesting like not like it's like a slice of life or anything like that, but seeing something like that of like, oh, I can picture myself just like, we've all gone like through a walk through a fucking town or something like that, and just seeing it from like the up, and in this like busy like bustling city where he's weaving through the cars and all these different fucking people, like it was crazy, man.
Yeah, no, it's good shit. They also do a good job of like establishing his character and his attitude without him ever having to say anything in that first opening sequence too, because like John Shaft is very much a person who will like not stupid aggressively run into danger, but he will like go into a hairy situation and knowing that he could probably like charm his way out of it, so he doesn't really give a fuck. But you see it in the beginning, because he just straight up walks into traffic and is just like bobbing and weaving through people. Somebody says something, and he's like, hey, fuck you, man. And he just like keeps on walking, and you're like, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck that guy. Like, it's good shit, dude. It's awesome.
A great example of, again, like showing, not telling. Like not being like, hey, man, John Shaft over there? He's the coolest motherfucker around.
Yeah, they
could
have
like,
easily done that.
But you like the scene with him in the like shoe shine shop, I think is so important to his character setup, because like, again, like he knows everyone.
Yeah.
He goes, sits down, someone fucking brings him coffee right away. Hey, there's too much sugar in this one, and they're just having these, there's having these conversations. Hey, so-and-so's like looking for you, and he's like, yeah. So it's like automatically you get like, okay, he's this guy. He knows how to talk to everybody. He's really cool. He's good with his words. Yeah. But also he's like in some shit, because he has these people who are fucking looking for him, but he doesn't give a fuck.
No.
He doesn't care one bit.
He really doesn't.
He's like, all right, cool. Like,
that's
whatever.
Fine. Yeah. He's like, all right, cool. No big deal. Yeah. No, I think that is a big part of, I think that's a big part of his appeal, because like as a character is that I imagine a lot of people at one point or another have that fantasy of like walking into the room and knowing everybody. Like every person you go up to, you're like, what's good, dude? Like you just know everybody, right? And he just has that like with the whole fucking city apparently. And it's just like,
all right, bro, like thanks, dude.
But it's awesome too, because it's like it's just a cool factor thing, but at the same time, it's also incredibly useful to him in the plot and like in how he solves his problems, which is cool. It's good shit. Like there's one that I took note of where it's very, very later in the movie, but like he's walking up to the like bar, and like when he does that whole sequence when he like catches the mafia dudes off guard, and he's walking up and he runs into this random dude. I think his name's like Billy or Willy or something like that, and he's like this like stoner looking dude who's like all chilling or whatever, and he's like, hey Billy, come here. He's like, do me a favor. And he's like, what's up, Shaft? And he's like, I need you to go turn on. He's like, oh, I'm already on, man. Like all stupid. But he's like, no, man. He's like, I need you to go turn on the lights in my apartment. Give me like 2 minutes or whatever. And like, he's like, yeah, sure, man. No big deal. Takes his key and goes. Like he just has trust in the like people in his community to do that shit for him, But then it's like such a satisfying like sequence, because like you see all of like his dominoes falling into place and his plan works and he gets the guys, and it's like, damn, this motherfucker's bad, bro. This dude's fucking sick as fuck.
He goes in just like pretending to be the fucking bartender,
it's
and just picks up a chick on his fucking way.
I know, like not even a big deal. He didn't even do anything.
Exactly.
Like literally the dude who runs the bar, he walks up to him and he's like, hey man, let me run the bar for a bit. And he's like, yeah, all right, cool, you're Shaft, it's fine. And then he like comes up to him like 2 minutes later, and he's like, hey, you see that girl over there? She wants to fuck. And he's like, yeah, all right, later. He doesn't even give a shit.
It's like every dude's dream right there.
Yeah, like you just walk in somewhere.
Fucking Shaft.
Yeah.
It's Shaft.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome, man. It's hilarious. But God damn it, that sequence in particular was one of my favorites. That was one of the ones that I took note of because, like, there's a couple. There's that one, and then there's the one at the end. Well, actually, there's 3, which is good because, like, there's that one, which is awesome because you get a high of him, like, nabbing the 2 dudes, getting the information out of them, setting up the payoff, right? The ransom for the next day. And then you follow up and you get to the second one where he goes to try and get, I think her name's Marcy, right? The daughter? Bumpy's daughter?
I think so.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something, yeah. But he goes to get her, and again, a very...
Is this shit not on IMDb? That's all right.
No, yeah, I think so. That's a whack rating by them, by the way. Should not be a 6.6, but whatever.
Look at that fucking, like, the cool ass motherfucker, bro, with the long leather fucking coat.
I love the coat
with
and
the turtleneck. Fuck, dude, that makes me want to rock turtlenecks and a long coat like that.
That poster is hard as fuck too. I want that poster, like, for up in my room somewhere. You know, like, that shit looks sick.
The mob wanted Harlem back. They got Shaft up to here.
That's right. But yeah, you get the first one, you get the high, you get the second one where he goes in. Homie gets fucked up. Dude gets shot, and, like, they get away with Marcy and stuff, and it's, like, no good or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And then again, like, another, like, not as long, but another longer, tense sequence of, like, things unfolding without dialogue, which is cool. Action sequences happen in this, like, tense sequences happen in this without the typical, like, what has been coined as Marvel humor, right? Like, I think movies, especially action movies nowadays, have a tendency to, like, undercut tension with jokes.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with in the right scenarios. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but it's nice to see it here where there's a long stretch of time where, like, they're just, like, infiltrating a place, or they're like setting up their shit, and then, like, how quickly everything snaps in, and, like, it feels satisfying. It feels punchy, but it also feels grounded and realistic. Because at times, as cool as shootouts can be in, like, I don't know, fucking military movies, fucking secret agent movies, whatever, sometimes they're unrealistic because people are sitting there like for like fucking 10 minutes or whatever, right? And it's like you probably would have got shot by that point. So I like how fast everything happens in this because it feels real. It's like, nah, man, if there's fucking 10 people with guns, like, you're going down in, like, a second. Like, it's that fucking fast.
I also really like the that last, like, the undercover, like, the fucking the sneaky stealth mission,
bro. That shit was
because it's
sick,
like,
dude.
you're not privy to
the plan.
Like, the plan.
Yeah.
You're not privy to the steps. Like, I feel like in a lot of movies, it'd be like, okay, we're going to have this scene where we're going to plot out, like, you know, and you're, hey, all right, you're going to go here, and you're going to go there.
Like, Myers,
and we're going to do this.
You're on getaway duty.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like, there's that typical, like, shit like that, you know?
Very Ocean's 11, I think.
But with this, it's like, you literally just get him after he gets shot, and he calls him in. He's like, hey, I need so-and-so. Like, he calls Bumpy. He's like, hey, I need all these guys. And he's like,
I just need these cabs here, whatever. Yeah.
And I like that, too, because he's like, I think Bumpy's like, oh, like, when do you need him? He's like, what? I need him now. And just, like, fucking, like, hangs up.
Dude, there's so many fucking good lines in the movie, like, just one-liners. It's ridiculous, honestly.
But you go from that, and you literally cut to just, like, all right, it's just going down.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you go to the scene and everything like that.
Yeah, Shaft, like, wakes up, and, like, there's, like, the doctor there, dude, who's, like, got him, and he's like, all right, well, we got to do this now, like, let's go. And then it just happens.
Yeah, so you don't know what the fuck is going on, so you're watching it unfold and you're learning about things happening as it's just happening. And so that's what makes it even fucking more tense. Like, you don't know what's happening and no one's fucking talking, and you got this just awesome fucking bongo score in the fucking background.
Yeah, you just hear the flutes. We said it, I think, before the podcast, but it just feels, to me, it felt very, like, jazzy, soulful Mission Impossible type shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, it was good shit. It felt like a Harlem Mission Impossible jam, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Harlem Mission Impossible.
Harlem Mission Impossible, bro, yeah. Yeah, there was a few good one-liners. Let me see which ones I have here. There was a lot that I took because I loved them. This one was great. I think he's talking to Vic at this point, and Vic is like, so Vic is another great character, by the way, that we haven't talked about that I really like. He's like the lieutenant cop who's like, kind of the middleman. The captain is like really trying to come down on Shaft and like bust him because he operates outside the law sometimes. You know, he does his own thing because he's fucking John Shaft and doesn't give a fuck. But Vic is always looking out for him, right? So he's like his homie, and I like Vic a lot. But There's this bit when he's talking to him and he asks him, he says, "When will I hear from you?" He goes, "When I got something to say." That's a great one. I fucking love that line. This one's good too. I think this is where he's talking with Bumpy. And like they first go and like there's the guards trying to like capture him. And he goes, "Don't let your mouth get your ass in trouble." Like such good fucking lines, dude. Like,
dude, my favorite one is like in the beginning when they're talking to Vic and also I think the captain.
Yeah.
And the captain goes in, like Vic tells him like, "Hey, like I gotta talk to Shaft or whatever."
Yeah.
Vic and Shaft like they talk or whatever, and then Shaft's like, "All right, dude, I'm taking off." Walks away, and then the fucking captain comes out, and he's like, "Where do you think you're going, Shaft?"
Yeah.
And Shaft goes, "I'm gonna go get laid."
Yeah.
"Where are you going?"
"Where you going?"
And just starts laughing.
The laughs to me on the dialogue in general in this movie to me is like so charming because it's not the way it's written, the way you hear the dialogue is so cheesy and but so,
it's great.
There's so many times where it feels like they just did ADR, like they went back and recorded them after. Because like I was thinking about it and I was like, okay, they probably filmed a lot of this on the actual streets of New York, which means they might not have had perfect control in terms of the sound.
Oh, no,
which means some of their dialogue might have gotten fucked up, right? So like you can just see it sometimes. It's like that. To me, it's charming. Like some people might call it whatever. I think for most pop culture folks, it's like it's a nostalgic charm of like the mouth's not perfectly aligning with the dialogue, and especially like the level that it's coming out at, you know? Like sometimes you'll see him just like, but then his voice is like, "Hey man, what the fuck you doing?" Or some shit, you know? Like it's so fucking funny. I love it. It cracks me up.
Yeah, it was great. I will say, the point in the middle when he like goes and you think he's gonna get Marcy and then he gets like shot. Yeah. That part really took me by surprise because up until that point you really think that
he's invincible.
Think Shaft's invincible. You're like, all right, this dude can do whatever the fuck he wants because up until that point he fucking did get whatever the fuck.
Nothing happened to him. He was fine.
He literally was just He went back to his house, was just kicking it on the couch naked.
Yeah,
and his fucking chick walks in, and he's just like, "For a long day, baby."
Yeah.
He's like, "Come over here," and just fucking
starts
like
getting down right away. Yeah,
and you're like, "Fuck,
dude." I will say that was one thing I was a little disappointed about. Was I was like, "Damn, Shaft, you cheating on your woman, bro." I was like, "Damn, my dude." I was like, "You were a fine, upstanding gentleman up until that point." I was like, "Son of a bitch, man."
Yeah,
can't condone it.
But hey, man, he had to do.
You're a bad motherfucker, Shaft. I get it, but I do wish that you were a faithful motherfucker.
That's true. That's true. I liked when that chick was at his. I don't know. I like hearing the word pad. Like, "Oh, you got a nice pad here," because like
which he does too.
Like,
the apartment set is really nice.
Because I'll say that shit like when I'm kicking it with the homies. Like, "Hey, what's up?" Like, "We're gonna go to your pad." Like, "Hey, just come over to my pad or whatever."
Yeah.
And but it's just funny hearing it then because like I feel like you also just don't hear people say that shit a lot. You know?
Yeah.
And like just hearing that as like a common term. Like back
definitely,
then,
yeah.
"Oh, you got a nice pad over here." Like,
the other one that cracked me up too that you hear a lot in this movie is baby. Everybody's just calling each other baby. It's like, "Thanks, baby." "Oh, don't worry about it, baby." It's like, "What you think you're doing there, baby?" Like everybody's baby in this movie, and I love it. It's good shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this was a great movie. Also, like, just important movie, like, historically, you know, if we're talking about it, like, honestly, this and movies like, like Superfly, Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song.
Yeah, you're telling me about that.
They did spawn, like, the blaxploitation genre of movies, which, I mean, some people don't agree with the term. Some people do. I'm not the person to say whether it's right or wrong.
No.
That's just what the genre is. I think at times you can understand, you know, where that name comes from. But I also think these movies are important because, like I was talking to you at the party, like without movies like this and like Sweetback's Badass Song, and I have to mention that song because that movie, because when I was doing research on this, they came out at the same time, and that is Sweetback's is heralded as like the one, right? Okay. Like Shaft is really good, and you understand why. Like he is like sort of like that black superhero type person where, you know, but like Sweetback was more of like that grounded, like gritty, like real type of like movie. Yeah. I got to go back and watch it, so I can't really say for sure, but from what I've read, that's the one. But these ones like are super important because if they don't do well, then we don't get, like, you know, maybe we do get movies like Black Panther and stuff like that, but it's like probably further down the line. Like the avenue to get there wouldn't be, you know, as easy to get through. You know?
That's what you're talking about. Is it's like that's like one of the most important things about like tapping into that movie history. And I appreciate you for doing that research, because it's like a lot of the times I think our generation has a tendency to watch things with like rose tinted goggles, which is like fine. It's good. Like appreciate the things that came before, right? That's not what I'm saying. But like there is like I could very easily, if this movie hit the mainstream again for some reason at like this day and age, movie would get memed into oblivion super instantly. And like maybe you'd find like an article here or there, like a YouTube video here or there that would go into the dirty details of like trying to explain the impact that it actually had. But for the most part, I feel like we're like a meme culture now, dude. Like, we make fun of everything. So like from time to time, again, like I said, I appreciate that you do the research, because I'm fucking lazy and I don't do it. So
I try. Like I've been trying to get better, because honestly, a lot of times I felt like I could come into the podcast and just be like, all right, just like I just watched the movies, you know?
Yeah.
But I want to get more into like, all right, let me like
the history of the movies.
We're podcasters, bro, but we're entertainment journalists.
We're historians.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
You know, and it's like I think it's important for us to also come with that, like, you know, a little bit of research behind it, just so we like, you know, like it's easy to just sit down and watch this movie and like enjoy it for what it is, because it is a good movie. It is fun. Like it's a great fucking 70s just fucking detective movie, right? But I think also like understanding the impact that it had just on the culture and the demographic that it was trying to reach is also important as well.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, like without it doing well, who knows, like when we might not have been able to see like a Jordan Peele movie or something like that, you know,
at
like,
least not right away.
Yeah, like, at least not right away. Maybe the Wayans don't ever make like In Living Color or like Scary Movie and
what
stuff
was
like
the
that.
Other one? Don't Be a Menace, like
Don't
those
Be a
type
Menace,
of movies.
yeah.
Because those are all
maybe
like,
we don't get Friday, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like again, like, and maybe we do, but it's probably like way longer
the
down the line.
timeline might have been different,
you know? Because this, you know, obviously 71, you know, this is coming off of like, you know, the 60s and the civil rights movements, you know, and this is like 70 and 71, like 71 was really when like people felt like change and stuff like going on. So it's important that, I think it's great that something like this that had a budget of $500,000 made fucking $12 million.
Yeah, dude. And then we were talking about that too. Like if you account for inflation with how much fucking money that was back then, that's a bank ass movie, dude. And holy shit.
You got pretty much like almost a full black cast.
Yeah.
You got a black director. You know, you got like this really funky, soulful music that comes from black culture. So it's like
the other thing too that's great, which is like nowadays you will see a lot of token diversity in entertainment, which I am not personally like a non-believer in, you know? Like, does it suck when the effort is not put in to like the history behind a certain character or just the work, right, that goes into developing a solid character? Does it suck when that doesn't happen? 1000%. And we are going to continue to push to get there regardless. But it shouldn't be discounted that there are a lot more people of color on screen nowadays than there ever have been in the history of movies, regardless of whether it's token or not. But it is crazy to see a movie that came out in the 70s where all of the prominent characters are all black, because a lot of the times now you'll maybe see like a white led cast that has like a black character in it, or like a Mexican character in it, or like a woman in it. They're, like literally they're just like
trying to cross the T's and dot the I's.
Exactly.
Like,
they're just typecast, which again is it's a step in the right direction. It's just we need more effort behind it is all it is, you know? So but it's just a trip to see it happen, quote unquote, the right way fucking 50 years ago at this point. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and watching this and enjoying this makes me excited to go and like we need to do an episode on Sweetback's fucking badass song.
I'm down.
Because let me just look that up. Because the lead actor directed the movie. I'm pretty sure he wrote the movie and he did like the soundtrack.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
so he pretty much did everything.
Yeah.
So it's like
a very personal passion project.
Exactly. And there's also like a movie from 2004 that character, that guy's son did that talked about that movie or whatever.
Was it like a documentary or like a follow-up?
It's like a
something or other.
It's like a, I don't want to say it's like a, like a documentary type movie, but it's like talking about, I don't know. But yeah, Melvin Van Peebles, director, writer, stars in it. But yeah,
what a badass.
After saving a Black Panther for some racist cops, a black male prostitute goes on the run from the man with the help from the ghetto community and some disillusioned Hells Angels.
Dope shit. I like it.
Fuck yeah.
I'm down.
Oh, yeah.
We'll check it out.
Hell yeah.
We'll do some other ones.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anything, I was going to say, anything else to say about Shaft?
I don't think anything in particular other than just, singing its praises again. I also am interested to see the reboot now, the redo, because I've also never seen the Samuel L. Jackson ones. So I think it'd be nice to do those one day, because the Samuel L. Jackson version also got its own sequel, where it's like Shaft's kid. Yeah, it's like Shaft, and it's still Samuel again or whatever. So
yeah, because he did it in like the early 2000s, and then he did like 2019, right?
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, so we could do those again at some point too. I'd be super. I want to see the reason why I brought those up is I want to see those again because like I feel like there's actually a lot of potential in the Shaft universe,
Oh yeah.
Not that I want them to franchise, because I think as much as I love the franchises that are already in our lives, I am very anti-franchise in terms of like other properties going forward.
We're in the age of franchises, man.
We really are. Like everybody wants a cinematic universe, and that's Marvel's fault for sure, which is, it is what it is. We're playing with the cards we got. But
man, we won, but at what cost?
Exactly.
Brother?
It really is. Like we got arguably, not even arguably, fuck your shit, come at me. The MCU from Iron Man 1 to Endgame, greatest franchise of all time. Can't tell me otherwise. Just in terms of the fucking consistency ratio, bro, people don't like the sequels to Star Wars. Maybe Star Trek could give them a run for their money, but nothing's as good as Iron Man 1 to Endgame. Wow. I'll die on that sword. But I don't want other franchises, though, because now most of the time when people try to do it, it is bad because they're not going like in the proper steps of like building block by building block. It's like, how do we make the most money as fast as possible? And oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes that can lead you to like rush projects that don't turn out very well. So I wouldn't want to see that happen to this. But done the right way, I don't know. Like new Shaft movies could be cool. I'd be down for that shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be down. I mean, they redid Superfly, so.
That's true. They did, yeah. But see, that's why I was also saying we got to check out the Samuel L. Jackson ones because somebody had that idea 15 years ago.
Exactly.
And then they had that idea again like 5 years ago. So
like, hey, remember when we remade Shaft? It'd be crazy. We remade it again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we don't want it to turn into. That's why I bring it up. It's like we don't want it to turn into like a Superman, Batman, Spider-Man type of thing, where you get fucking 3 reboots within like 15 years or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Hey man, what would you rate Shaft?
Probably like a solid 8, like maybe like a 8.5. Like I do think that there are times when the movie was like a little slow. Not necessarily like in like a horrible way or anything like that, but like there was just moments where I think there's a lot of really laid back conversations that happen in a row. And at times it can be a little bit tough to like hang on every word. Like there was, I would probably want to go back and watch it again. Like there's probably a bunch of lines that are great that I missed because of like how, just how much dialogue there is in it. Like you hear a lot of like Quentin Tarantino having a lot of inspiration from like the blaxploitation stuff, and then dialogue I understand because like there's a lot of talking in this movie. Yeah.
Like that scene when he's in the bar and he's the bartender, like that's a very dialogue heavy scene. Like,
and it's
he's
like
talking
5 to 10 minutes long almost. Yeah, like from start to finish. So, and it's good, right? Like it's not to say that on its own is a gripe. It's just that a lot of those back to back can feel slow at times. So like, it's not like a perfect movie to me, which is why, I'm not going to give it a perfect 10 or anything, but it's like I said, a very strong 8, like 8.5. There's not a lot wrong with it, honestly. Yeah. It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. I would say I'm at like an 8.5. Like it checks a lot of the boxes for me. Like the cinematographies are like really good. We'd even talk about like the moving camera shots. Like there's a lot of like shots where like the camera moves and like it looks really fucking good. Like it's like nowadays that thing is used as like an aesthetic thing. Like, oh my God, like look, we're going to fucking do this because it adds like a certain like sort of like old timey like feel to it, like, but that was a thing that they had to do, the technology wasn't to the point where like, all right, we're going to make hella cuts and we're going to, like they're going to make cuts, but they're going to make cuts where it's necessary.
Yeah.
Like in scenes where, all right, I can be right here and I can move the camera to the right, you know, like I'm just going to fucking do it. And it looks fucking good.
It does, yeah. I really, really, really liked the first action sequence when he has to like fight those two dudes that bust into his office. Because for one, the choreography and how the camera captures it is really good because it's not just a lot of times in modern stuff, it's like there's this tendency to, and I like it. Again, don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to compare one to the other and say that they're better. I'm just pointing out the differences between them. A lot of the times now, I think we have a tendency to like highlight the choreography, which is great because it's fucking stellar stuff that they're doing now, right? Like you take John Wick, for example. There's no camera action happening. Like it's a still shot and maybe it moves on a dolly, but it's the choreography is like the star of the show, right? Like you're seeing them do all this crazy stuff in one long shot, which is impressive in its own right. But I like in this one, it feels more, I told you I want, my fucking absolute dream is for one day, I have to watch One Piece before I watch the Netflix show, but I've heard good things about that. But my dream is that one day we will have a movie that can capture the action that comes from animation. Yeah. Anime in particular. If we can pull that off with live action, holy fuck, that'll be the dopest action movie that had ever existed. And this kind of energy in a fight scene I like because the choreography is there and it feels good and it feels impactful and it feels weighty, but the camera moves with the choreography. So like if a dude gets pushed down to the chair, like you get a shot from behind and the guy falls into the chair. It's not just like the room and then Shaft pushes him, right? Or like if a dude gets punched, the camera moves with him and like falls around. Or like there's a couple of POV shots where like you see the dude coming at Shaft and he's fighting. And then you see Shaft coming straight at you at the camera and stuff. And it's like that kind of stuff I think I like more right now. Or again, it could be recency bias because I just like this movie so much. But off the back of this movie, I think that's my preference of like as impressive as a well choreographed sequence is, I think camera movement will give you way more energy than like choreography ever could. So
it's
like
really putting you like in the scene.
Yeah, you feel right there. All the punches feel so heavy, the pushes, the shoves, the grapples, everything. Like you feel right there in the action.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like it like stuff like that makes like it's what gives like scenes like this like I don't know, like it's what makes them so good is because like you're saying it uses that like and even though like the choreography might not be like super great like we're used to,
like it's because John Wick, but
because the camera's working with it, like it makes it way more. It
elevates it, definitely, yeah. So yeah, I love that shit.
But yeah, the fight scenes were fucking sick. Like
music's awesome.
The music's
Actors
awesome.
Are great.
The sound effects were fucking hilarious. Like when the guns shoot, like that shit's fucking.
Yeah, like classic, 70s fucking sounding guns and shit. Yeah,
it was great. Like you said, obviously, like I did feel like it was slow at times as well.
Yeah.
It's not the perfect movie. Like not all like the dialogue's great. Like, you know, the cheesiness is good in this as well, but not all the cheesiness is good all the time. Yeah, but like it's an awesome movie, and I definitely think you should watch it. It is one of those. It's a classic movie for sure. It goes into my classic category.
Yeah, that's 1,000%. Just. I think that's just the critique, the critic coming out at us, so that we have something to say
talk about, other than like fuck this movie was awesome,
bro. Try to keep our reputation as people who talk about movies intact and at least come up with some things here and there, but I really do want to just say like this movie's fucking awesome, just go watch it, like because it is.
And that's the thing though, like it's okay to just be like this movie's fucking awesome.
It is. No, it's true. Either way is fine. Like don't if you want to just sing the praises to infinity and beyond and don't let anybody tell you, fucking power to you, bro. Like, because if
say it with your chest.
Yeah, if you can love something that much and you don't give a fuck what other people say, you're doing it right. Like, nobody should tell you what the fuck to like, But as entertainment journalists, as my friend here has just coined recently, I would say we have somewhat of an obligation to give like a review as well. We like to talk broadly about the movies, but essentially it boils down to a review at the end of it. So,
but I think even like when we are just like ourselves, like when we go and just like watch a movie and we're talking about it after, like we talk about the things that we just like didn't really like
because
there's
certain thing
movie.
that bugs us. It's also I thought about this and like I think honestly that has to do with like the age range that we're in right now more than anything, because like I think there's like levels where like when you're a kid, you don't give a fuck because everything's cool and you don't understand what's bad because you just like it. And then you become a teenager and you kind of hate everything. And then you get older and you start to like more stuff, but you're still kind of weary about it. So you like poke holes in things, you know? And then I think as you get older, some of that starts to wear off. And I think particularly when people have kids, that shit just disappears. Because like when you watch something through the lens of a kid again, and that's your kid, movies are magical. Like, dude, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, my dad was like when we were in Hawaii, like we watched like a few like different animated movies or like just like not movies that he would watch. Like my dad's a big Karate Kid, Black Hawk Down, fucking shit like that, you know. But we watched like the Lion King like remake with like Donald Glover.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that.
I'm not the biggest on, you know.
I don't like the live action remake, so I don't really watch them.
Because I mean I just love the fucking animated one. But like we watched that. We watched Mulan. We watched fucking
classic Mulan.
Yeah, classic Mulan. That's why I started like bumping the fucking.
That's right. Yeah.
The dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
But we watched that. We also watched the Super Mario Brothers. And dude, sick, my dad was hella fucking with the Lion King. He was like, He was like, I was fucking liking that one. Yeah. He liked fucking Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
We also watched Uncharted.
And did you? Oh, we watched that together.
Yeah, we watched that. But right. He fucked with Uncharted too. Yeah. He was like, I forget what he like mistaked the fucking name for like something else.
Oh, like the movie name?
Yeah, the movie name.
Yeah. Called like Lara Croft Tomb Raider or some shit or what?
No. Like it was like another like U name, but it was like completely wrong. I forgot what he said, but I was just like I could not understand like what movie he was talking about. He's like, yeah, the one with the fucking Mark Wahlberg, and I was like, oh, Uncharted. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I like that one. I was like, yeah, that was cool, dude. Yeah. But it's funny, like just him being like that, like just talking about like people that just really like a movie, just be like, yeah, I fucking like that movie, dude.
Yeah,
like,
if you like it, you like it, man. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Like I see so much on the internet nowadays that is like constantly trying to establish like GOAT status or top 10 or this or that, and it's like that's fine if that's what you like to do your thing. I'm not trying to judge you on it. But I'm also here to say that, like, I hope that we all remember that art is subjective and people are allowed and have the right. And just, shouldn't have to say that hardcore, but it's like, you can like whatever the fuck you like, man. And if somebody doesn't like that thing, it's okay. Just leave them alone and don't talk to them about it. It doesn't matter. It's okay.
Like what you fucking like.
Like what you like, man. It doesn't matter, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We promote subjectivity here. Not in terms of subjugating people, because we're not tyrants yet.
Yeah. Pretty soon we will be. Yeah, guys. We really like Shaft. Pause that one for sure.
Oh man.
But yeah,
love Shaft.
But that shit was it was fucking awesome. It was fucking awesome. You guys should go watch it. It was a fucking great time, and it's just a fun watch. You know.
It is, and it's also an easy watch too, because I think the movie's only like an hour 40.
I think it's like an hour 50 low key.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty long for a movie.
Okay.
I remember like looking at it and be like, damn, that's pretty long for
almost 2 hours.
That's what I thought. Whereas like the next movie we're gonna talk about,
this one is an hour 40, I think.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, it is an hour 40. Yeah. Why don't you bring us into Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, my good sir?
Yeah. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is a classic 70s movie that is built off the back of the book, right? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
My Roald Dahl.
Yeah, but it captures Gene Wilder is like probably one of the fucking best. I have some serious thoughts about Timothée Chalamet taking over that after having rewatched this again. We'll get into that later. But essentially, Willy Wonka is this recluse, world-renowned chocolate maker who, like, I don't know, like 10 years ago or something like that, like disappeared off the face of the earth because people are trying to steal his chocolate secrets and stuff. And he announces to the world that he has placed 5 golden tickets within his chocolate bars all around the world. And people go absolutely fucking insane. There are so many joke bits in this movie that I did not get when I was a kid that cracked me up so hard now because, like, just how people from children to adults in this world react to a chance at getting to go see Willy Wonka. There's like something so magical about it and also so hilarious. Watch it. When you watch this movie as a kid, it's ridiculously charming. It's overflowing with like just hopeful dreams of imagination and stuff like that. Like you don't really get any of the weird stuff that's also going on, you know?
Yeah.
But then you watch it as an adult, and for one, I think there's a lot of comedy here that went over my head.
Oh yeah.
As a child, there were so many scenes that I laughed at that were throwaway for me when I was a kid. They were the boring parts that I would want to fast forward through, right? Mm-hmm. But then you also just get this really... Willy Wonka is such an interesting character to me.
Dude, he really is,
like,
bro.
He's such an enigma. He's such a secret... He's like fucking Yoda, bro. Like, it's the same thing of, like, he's this overtly powerful character within his universe that you know fucking nothing about. Yeah. But he controls everything, and he's always, like, nothing's ever out of his hands. And, like, it's such a trip to just see him on screen. And that's, I'm sure, a lot to do with the way his character's written. I don't know, like, how faithful this adaptation is to the book.
I read the book when I was younger, but it's been a while.
I never read it. But I think a lot of it in part also has to do with motherfucking Gene Wilder, bro. Because, good Lord, homie goes off in this movie, man. One of the coolest performances I've seen. Like, it's fucking mind-boggling.
It's crazy how much the performance like holds up, you know? Yeah. Like, people talk about, oh my god, this is a classic movie, this is a classic movie, but then maybe you go back and watch and you're like, oh, like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I can see why people hold it as a classic,
but it doesn't have like the pedigree maybe of like being
Whereas this, like, it's top tier, like, and it holds up. And like, yeah, Gene Wilder's so fucking good, bro. So fucking good.
Yeah, no, it's a magical movie. I think, again, once you get a little bit older, if you read really, really far into the undertones of it and you can turn it into a dark fantasy movie. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's the intention at the end of the day. I don't think Willy Wonka is trying to like kill children and shit like that and harvest them for chocolate.
We don't see him at the end, bro. That's all I'm fucking saying.
We don't see them at the end. This is very true, but
and he is very like, I don't want to say like dismissive, but like...
Oh, no, he is. He doesn't give a fuck, about the kids getting in danger.
He's dismissive about the kids, but like when like they're asking him like, oh, like, is they're going to be okay? He's just like, yeah, like if you get down there, like, yeah, they'll be cool. Like, it's very like...
Well, at the end, he tells Charlie.
He's like, you don't know if you can take what he's saying at like face value.
Oh, so that I did, because I made a note of it, and I actually just saw the interview that brought this up the other day, but Gene Wilder would not join this project. He was not going to sign up as Willy Wonka unless it was his idea to do the sequence when he walks out at the beginning and falls over into the tumble, because his reasoning was that from the very first time you see him on screen, you won't be able to tell if he's telling the truth or not.
Yep.
Because immediately he lies to you, right? In a very fun, flashy way that makes you're endeared to him because it's like charming, right? But either way, you're on the back foot because it's like, oh, he's pulling some tricks on me.
Yeah. It's once you start getting to like know him and start to talk to him, you're like, oh, damn, this dude's pretty fucking crazy.
He's a little conniving bastard, man. He's a genius, right? Like, if you take everything that he's creating at the value that it's given within this universe, certified fucking genius. The man is changing the world in terms of food technology. Like, I don't think that's acknowledged enough, but the homie makes everlasting gobstoppers for poor kids that can't afford candy because it just never runs out.
Yeah.
And he figures out how to transport food through fucking TV waves, bro.
Yeah.
Like, again, if you take it within the value of this universe, this fool is crazy. Like, greatest humanitarian of all time. But he has some shadier sides to him. Again, I like it. Like I said, I like it as a dark fantasy version of this movie. I don't think that's what the intention of the film is, though. I think everything having to do with the kids and them getting lost in the various different manners that they do is really just to teach children a lesson. Like, it's very blatant to me when you watch it as an adult, where like Augustus is the fucking like kid who takes too much, right? And then the Oompa Loompas literally sing a song about like, hey kids, you shouldn't take too much or you're a bad kid, right?
Yeah.
And then same thing with Faruka and Mike TV and so on and so forth. Like, all of them have some kind of bratty, privileged kid attitude that Wonka essentially like hopefully teaches them like how to get out of, right? That's what he says at the end, right? He tells Charlie like, of course, my boy, like, they're perfectly fine. He's like, and they'll leave here hopefully having learned a lesson for the better. So with the way the movie's presented, I don't think he's an evil, conniving person trying to kill children. I like it as a fan fiction, dark fantasy thing, but I don't think that's the intention of the movie. I could be wrong.
Yeah. It was, it's such a, like, when I was watching it, because I hadn't watched it in a while, it's so, like, the movie was just very interesting to me, because, like you're saying, like, it was like, I was watching it, like, in a new light, like, it was like I was watching it for the first time.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Because there's a lot of things that happened that I didn't remember, like, happened. I think I appreciated a lot of things more, like, in the movie. You know, I appreciated, like, the music a lot more. Like, I think when I was younger, like, I think that was something where I was like, all right, I don't really give a fuck about, like,
it is
the
a
musical portion.
Yeah.
You know, but, like, it's done really well. Like, the acting from Gene Wilder is absolutely superb. But, like, the acting from all the other characters is
also very good.
Is ridiculously good, because when I was watching it, I couldn't help but thinking, like, damn, I feel like I'm watching, like, an actual representation of characters from a book.
Yeah.
You know? Like, the way they were just so extra and so, like, very, like, their characters were very definitive.
Yes.
Like, there was not one character that was similar to another character.
No, yeah.
They were all very, very different and unique, and they were all, like, eccentric in their own way.
Yes,
like, their specific personalities were, like, turned up to 11.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting to me, because it's like, how, like, it's like, yes, like Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka, like Charlie, they are like they're like the main portion of the movie, but it's like a full ensemble cast that does their own part.
The other thing too that I tripped out on is Gene Wilder doesn't show up on screen until like 40 minutes into the movie. Like, you do not see Willy Wonka at all for a long time. You hear a lot about him, but you don't actually see him until they get to the factory, which is a good ways into the movie. It's almost about the hour mark. Like,
exactly.
It's kind of crazy.
But you get on this development with like these other characters. Like, it was so crazy watching like Veruca Salt and then like her dad and like that whole dynamic, because it's like you can really see that being a real world like dynamic, but because their personalities are so like turned up, it's like, oh my god, these are literally characters from a book. And it's like so crazy, because she's literally the worst fucking kid in the world.
Fucking awful.
And her dad is just like, I just want to fucking please her. Like, oh my god, like, you know.
Yeah, I wrote.
I'll raise you. Anyone who finds the golden ticket will get a 1 pound bonus. A 1 pound bonus.
With all these poor ladies like already working hard and shit.
Yeah.
Where did I write it? I wrote it somewhere. Literally, one of my bullet points here was actually Veruca Salt is the fucking worst.
Dude,
like,
she is.
She's terrible.
The little girl playing her is
phenomenal.
Phenomenal. And it's so crazy how much she pulls off that, like, I'm a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, she's
horrible. And all the characters, too. Like, even Violet, like, she has this, like...
cocky attitude,
attitude, and, like, the way she talks is, like, it's so fast and, like...
Super snappy.
Snappy. Everything rolls off and is,
chick,
like...
dude,
you know, she's like, come on, Dad. No one wants to hear that. And she's like... You know, so like sure of herself at such a young age. It's so crazy.
I love the bit where she's because they interview all the kids when they find the child. Oh, another thing I wanted to bring up too, by the way, I'll get to that in a second. But like, she gets her interview, right, and she's sitting there and she's like talking to like, because she's like a world champion of gum chewing, right? She has like the longest record. It's like 3 months or something that she's chewed on like a single piece of gum. And one of her friends is like lost her record because of fucking Violet, and she's like sitting there on the TV and she's like, this piece I've been chewing for like 3 months. I chew it every day and every night except for at supper when I put it behind my ear. And she like goes on and like all super fast or whatever, and she's like, hi something or other, whatever her name is, right? She's like, hi, hope you're watching, how you doing, honey? It's like, oh, you're a little shit, dude.
It's like little things like that, like sometimes I feel like some movies won't even like add that, or like, you know, it'll literally just be like whatever the main portion of like her speech was. But like those little things of like, hi honey, like blah blah blah, how you doing? Like it adds to the fucking character.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Mike TV just being like this weird smart fucking like little kid, but who just
knows entertainment.
Yeah, just knows entertainment, but like loves fucking like it's not a real gun, like it's a fake one, you know, but when I get a real one, it's gonna be a crazy one, like a Colt 45.
Yeah,
my dad says I can't have one. You can't have one yet.
Not till you're 12, son. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Holy shit.
Still happy about it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah. That the one thing that tripped me out about that whole sequence, right? Because like the first 40 minutes of the movie is the race to get the tickets, right? Like, and they keep appearing all over the world. And you have a lot of funny bits that I do want to talk about as well, of like people trying to track down these tickets. But the first thing that I wanted to bring up is Wonka pre-chose these kids. No way in hell he didn't. The golden ticket is not random at all, because Slugworth is at every single random point across the earth at the exact time that they get the ticket for their fucking interviews. True. Every single time, he's always there.
That's true.
So Wonka, for sure, in my mind, pre-selected all of these kids to test Charlie.
Well, yeah, I
knows
think there was
Charlie's his guy.
There was a portion in like the movie where he says like, where he talks about, I think he says something along the lines of like, oh yeah, like, he's talking to Charlie. He's like, yeah, like he says something along the lines like he's been watching him or something like that.
He tells him like, for a long time now, I've made the decision that I was going to have to pass this on to a child, which by the way, his reasoning is fucked up because what he tells him is, I'm not going to pass it on to an adult because they would do it their way. I need to give it to a child so they can do it my way.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Will, that's not maybe the best, but
yeah.
whatever. It's fine. It's still a magical movie. Super minor, like poking the fucking thing. Right. But, yeah, I really did get the sense that he had his eye on Charlie and he set up all these other kids as temptations, right? To kind of like, again, test him to see if he was like truly worthy to take on the factory and like take care of the Oompa Loompas, I guess, right? That's also included in the shit. But yeah, I don't know. I tripped out on that when I saw that this time because I was like, wait, these tickets are being found all over the fucking globe, like Germany, UK, like various different parts of the United States. Like, how the fuck is he there every single fucking time? So I was like, nah,
fucking
you
Slughorn,
fucking
bro.
pick them motherfuckers. Yeah,
because he was just working for him. He was just working for Willy Wonka
exactly.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
God damn. So who's the worst little kid out of the bunch?
I think Veruca. I think Veruca's the worst. But I mean, outside of going with the easy answer, I would say Mike TV, because Mike TV is probably gonna like shoot up a school one day. Sorry, that's a dark joke, but
yeah, probably. But, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, that motherfucker's demented, bro.
Yeah,
Mike TV's scary in real life.
Yeah, oh for sure.
Yeah.
I would say, maybe Violet, dude. I just don't fucking like her, bro.
Violet's also annoying. Violet's annoying. I feel like Veruca is just evil, right? Violet is like annoying. Like there's like just that like
she's just like shut the fuck
up,
dude.
She's
just
such a like
quiet.
loudmouth, dude. Yeah,
just be fucking quiet for
it's on
2
it.
seconds.
It's like doubly annoying too because she's still clever for like how young she is, you know. So like the shit she's talking is like pretty good. So it's like doubly annoying of like just stop. God, it's like when a kid's getting like you like getting a one up on you and you're just like, stop it, I'm older than you. That's enough.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up. I'm taller than you.
All right. One crazy point I wanted to talk about because I did not remember it from when
tunnel?
I watched the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like obviously like I remember from the like the Johnny Depp version, like I watched that a lot as a kid. And I kind of remember a little bit, you know, like I remember it looked pretty cool. But watching this, I did not like I watched this scene twice. So towards the end of like the tunnel, like the lights start getting, you know, start flashing. You're really just the camera's really just focused on Willy Wonka. And he starts saying this fucking poem, and it starts out kind of fucking nice, where they're all like
sings it first.
Yeah, where they're like, oh, he's kind of singing, but then it gets like demented almost because he starts like screaming it, and I want to fucking read it. Yeah, so he goes, "There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. There's no knowing where we're rowing or which way the river's flowing. Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is a hurricane blowing?
Yeah.
Not a speck of light is showing, so the danger must be growing. Are the fires of hell glowing? Is the grisly reaper mowing? Yes, the danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they're slowing."
Bravo. I like that rendition.
Like that?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that fucking like it creeped me out.
No, it's good because I think there's a lot of different things happening in that sequence that are 1000% intended to make you uncomfortable. Because for one, you go into a dark cave where you have no idea what's happening. It's like a fucking rave in there because there's just like rainbow laser lights shooting all over the wall. They're also blasting a lot of subliminal, like really disturbing images. You're seeing like chickens get their heads cut off, worms crawling all over people's faces and shit. Super fucked up shit.
How do they get away with showing that?
I would imagine, I don't know this for
like
sure.
Showing a chicken get its head cut off.
So I don't know this for sure, but I do know that like in terms of swear words, you're allowed a certain amount before you hit like a certain rating, right? So I would imagine that's probably the same thing in terms of the images that you're showing. So it can probably stay so like, because it's like what, PG, I think? I don't think it's even PG-13, honestly.
No, I think it's PG.
Yeah, so they either got away with it because of how minuscule it is, or they were just way more fucking lax because it was 1971.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you can only show up to 3 chickens getting their heads cut
exactly. It's like in the claws or whatever. But yeah, you have the subliminal message, you have all that, and then the other thing that I tripped out on when I was watching it this time too is it's very freaky to listen to a rhyme scheme that does not change. For that long to have constant glowing, showing, rowing, flowing. It's like, whoa, dude, chill the fuck out, bro.
What does this shit even mean, bro? There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we're going. That's obviously like, oh, we don't know which way we're fucking going in life, probably. Like, you know, there's no knowing where we're going. We don't know where the fuck we're going. We're just trying to go where we think is the right way to go, but we don't know if that's right. Or which way the river's flowing. We don't know if it's going left, right, up, or down. Yeah, that's true. Is it raining? Is it snowing? We're obviously like, fuck, what the fuck's going on? Not a speck of light is showing it. That the second part is where it's like, what the fuck are you trying to talk about?
Darker,
where you're just like,
not a speck of light is showing, so the danger must be growing. Are the fires of hell glowing? Is the grizzly reaper mowing? Yes, the danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing. I think if I had to take it as just a poem, I would say this is and this is going to be a shot in the dark here because I'm not good at analyzing things, all right? So bear with me. But I would say this is the 2 different looking glasses of just like life. That's an optimist up top, right? There's no way of knowing where we're going, what's happening. Is it raining? Is it snowing? Glass half full kind of guy, right? Second one is like, no, there's no lights, so the danger must be growing. Are the fires of hell growing? Is the Greenlee Reaper mowing? If we're still moving towards and away from this thing, then it must be that, blah, blah, blah. So I maybe it's just like that kind of dynamic of like, you can look at a situation from 2 different things, and it can either be not positive, but hopeful, or very pessimistic and like, nah, we're fucked. We're running away. Like, I see it as death almost. The first one seems curious about death. The second one seems fearful of it.
I don't know, because like, I don't know if it's like fearful of it, because when you get to this part, right? Like, yes, the danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing. So it's like, they just keep on keeping on, you know? I don't know. This is
maybe it's from the delivery, right? Because at that point he's speaking very manically. Like, he's not saying for the rowers keep on rowing and they're certainly not showing any signs of slowing. It's for the rowers keep on rowing, you know, like maybe it's the delivery of it that gives me that vibe of it. But yeah, I don't know. Somebody smarter than us probably already knows what that section is about, but
let's see what it says. Does it say anything right here?
I have a analysis.
Of course, well, below is amazing, but my favorite line from the part spoken, what is this? Freak out? Hell yes, it is. At one point, I asked my son if he was scared. No, because I'm not in that tunnel.
That's funny.
That's fucking funny.
Poor little kid.
But yeah, it does. Oh, when you think about it like that, like, is he freaking, like, what is this, a freak out? Yeah, it kind of, it makes sense, because it's like, in the beginning, you're talking about, like, you almost have this not more positive outlook on it, where it's just like, you know, we don't know which way we're going. Like, it's all good.
It's
like,
just more curious.
And then, but you have like, is it raining? Is it snowing? And then it's like, is a hurricane blowing? Like, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
The anxiety's almost rising.
Yeah. And then this is when you start to fucking freak out. Like, holy shit. Like, you know, maybe shit sucks. Maybe everything is fucking, you know, maybe everything is dangerous. You know, fucking the Grim Reaper keeps on taking everybody, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, dude. This is a crazy, like I said, it was a crazy thing to just throw in a fucking movie.
The other thing,
I'm going to need to watch an analysis video on what the fuck this means.
No, I want to see it too. Because the other thing too that you have to keep in mind is how the sequence ends as well, right? Which is that like all of that dialogue happens. And then, because I was also tripped out about that part in the end too, is that somebody asks him or tells him like, I think that's quiet enough or whatever. And he goes, yeah, I think you're right. And then he goes, stop the boat or whatever he says, and the lights cut. And then they snap back and they're where they are. And he's like, we're there. They're like, where? He's like,
snap
here.
Back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was, I don't know. It's, I think there is something there, I would imagine.
That was written by Roald Dahl. That's crazy.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, because he did the screenplay for this.
Oh, okay. There's something there with some sort of intention, I would imagine, because I think everything that Willy Wonka does has intention in this movie. I don't think there's anything random.
Damn, I guess they were all scared.
How couldn't you be?
Gene just kind of went off, and we had not seen that side of him. I wouldn't say it was disturbing, but it was.
Yeah.
Gene is really getting into it today. That's funny. We're just like, damn, this fool's
like,
just
he's
getting
on one, dude. Yeah.
When they get on the boat.
Oh, that was the other thing I forgot to look up. He says a lot of things in different languages. Mm-hmm. Or at least a couple of times.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to take a little boat trip. Do you want to enter the Wonkatania?
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, that sounds like Mania or something, you know? Or maybe it's just a play. I don't think it's on entertainment.
No, a number of seats are on the SS Wonkatania. The boat has exactly the number of seats needed for the people who need to board, meaning Willy Wonka expected to lose 2 guests by the time the group reached the SS Wonkatania. Damn,
wait,
that's
2
crazy.
guests? That's only 1. That's not right. Oh, well, I guess 2 including the parent.
Yeah, including the mom.
Okay.
The first grotesque image to flash in the tunnel scene. As the boat sails faster and faster down the tunnel scene, the first image is a garden snail. Interesting.
Gets a little more intense after that, yeah.
Then a millipede walks across a man's face, followed by a peering human eye, an image of a chicken.
Getting its head cut off.
Yep. Then a beheaded chicken. Arthur Slugworth.
Oh, yeah,
because that fool is scary. There's a chameleon having a snack.
So then maybe...
Close-up of a spider.
Maybe on a practical level, not trying to take into consideration the analysis of like what the writers meant and stuff like that. Like practically in terms of what Willy Wonka was trying to achieve, it's probably just another test, right? He's putting all of the kids off guard and subliminally planting the idea of Slugworth into their brain with these images to be like, betray me because I know you're not worthy of this or something like that, right? I could see it being that because that is the most recognizable image of all those flashes is seeing Slugworth, you know?
Fuck, I'm going to go back and read that later. I don't want to read that.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big Reddit thread right there.
Oh, shit.
Paragraphs. That's an essay right there, dude. But yeah, it's a trippy scene for sure. Obviously, you could probably do a whole episode just about that shit, yeah.
Yeah, that shit, like, that caught me off guard. Because up until that point, like, it's not that it's like a happy-go-lucky, like...
It kind of is, though.
It kind of is. I mean, you're on this, like, adventure into this chocolate factory and this candy factory. You're like, oh, my God, there's all this candy. Yeah. You have the very nice song of the world of pure imagination.
Like, oh, that's so... That sequence made me cry, bro. Good. When I watched it, it brought a tear to my eye. It's like, oh, fuck.
It's really so beautiful, and I'm glad I'm old enough and watch this and, like, appreciate it for, like, the musical, like... masterpiece that it is because it like seamlessly happens. Like a lot of like the musical scenes in this like seamlessly like just happen from like the scene is going on and then like in the beginning when like the dude's giving the candy to the kids like,
the Candyman one.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Candyman can like he just kind of instantly gets into it. You know, same with all the songs. Like and that one obviously it's a classic, right? But I think actually watching it and getting to appreciate it and being like, damn. This is crazy. This motherfucker was singing his ass off.
Oh, yeah, no. Gene Wilder's got a good voice. And the song gets down for sure. It
was fucking good.
Yeah, no, it was. I think there's so much wonderful, like, practical and just classic visual effects in this movie that are so fucking charming. And I don't think are horribly dated. I think there are some times... when you can, if you really, really want to look super critically as like a behind the scenes person, you can see that like the quality of some of the props are maybe not up to snuff of what we have nowadays. But taking into consideration the fact that this was made in 1971, these sets are fucking beautiful. Like out of this fucking world gorgeous.
Oh, they are.
Like,
the only thing that ever like feels like almost out of place is the scene where they're like flying up in the air just because you can tell it's like
on wires,
you know. I mean, you can tell they're on wires and everything just kind of looks kind of like wonky, you know. So you can tell, but it's like everything else like feels real. Like you feel like you're in the world and like you feel like if you stepped into it, everything would be fucking real.
Well, you know what else I like too about that is that like about like piggybacking off of like things feeling real is that everything in a completely unreasonable world, things seem to have reason, right? Like the one that got me the most in this one was that sequence of when they have the fizzy lifting drinks is like they're flying, right? And it's like preposterous. You're not going to fucking fly because you drink a soda, right? But then somehow it makes sense to my stupid candy loving Willy Wonka brain of like, yeah, burp and you'll go down. Yeah. Like, you know, like it's so stupid, but in your head you're like, but that makes sense though.
Exactly.
Like,
why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, it's so weird. It's crazy like how like obscene the world is, but also how like much sense it goes into like the insanity as well. It's crazy. It's good shit.
The insanity makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
the musical numbers are great. The
Come on, Charlie.
Yeah, cheer up, Charlie. That's a good one, dude. The one, okay, that was one I wanted to bring up too. I never noticed this as a kid either, but the buckets are fucking ridiculously poor.
They're crazy
super bad. Really fucking bad. I did not realize how bad it was again until I watched it this time. But the fact that they treat a loaf of bread as a feast and fucking Grandpa Joe, we'll get to Grandpa Joe in a second, but Grandpa Joe is fucking still needing a fucking quarter for his tobacco and shit. They are really poor.
Let's get into this. How much of a piece of shit Grandpa Joe is.
Okay, so
they're poor, and this fool's like, hey, I get we're poor, but you guys need to feed my tobacco addiction.
Yeah.
Here. This is what's going down.
Yeah, so
I get it, we get happy when we see a loaf of bread, but I gotta fucking smoke my tobacco.
Okay, I will say this, because I thought the same thing, and he does say, no, that's fucking stupid. Use this towards money. And both his daughter and Charlie are both no, take this. It's like a single pipe or whatever. So that one, I don't fully pin on Grandpa Joe, because he does try to make an effort to be like, that's crazy, put this towards food or something. And they're like, nah, this is for you.
Why doesn't that motherfucker just save all those things that they're giving him?
And then get some shit later? Who knows? I mean, he does, right? Because he buys Charlie the Wonka bar with it. It's not the one that has the golden ticket. But
it's out of his own want to go there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. No,
it's not, I mean, I guess part of him wants to see Charlie. But he's like, nah, I want to see this. I want
No, I was, so, okay, because I think that there are two very different reads of this movie. I think if you want to, it's very fun to watch it with a practical lens, and you can bring up all these things of maybe Willy Wonka's killing kids, and maybe Grandpa Joe is a piece of shit Mooch who's just been chilling all this time. I will disagree with that sentiment in terms of how the movie's presented, because I don't think that the filmmakers are trying to show Grandpa Joe as this horrible, evil dude who just got this opportunity. I really do think that the movie tries to portray him as a loving grandfather who just wants to give his grandchild an experience that he can't because they are so poor. And it just so happens that the fact that it's a musical and things are whimsical, and he can all of a sudden stand and jump and sing after 20 years, that's due to the fact that it's a musical, not because Grandpa Joe's a piece of shit. Again, practically speaking, I understand why that's a conversation. But when you I consider this movie a musical, 100%.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So musicals are fucking stupid, and logic doesn't apply to them. So for that reason, I can't totally get behind that argument, but I do understand it. Grandpa Joe has to be taking nightly walks if he can just hop up and dance all of a sudden, because if he was really bedridden for 20 years, his legs would be dust.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that. I would say, to me, what is the craziest thing, because and this one, all of a sudden, he just doesn't all of a sudden get up, and he does have some trouble getting up, right?
Sure, but it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's more in the Tim Burton one where he all of a sudden just gets up and is dancing, and everyone's what the fuck?
Yeah.
But what pissed me off in this motherfucker doesn't even want to get the will to walk until Charlie finds the golden ticket, and he's like, hey, I got to bring one person on.
He's like, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Grandpa, you can't even walk. I'll try to walk. So you're telling me all this time you're paying for your you're paying for your fucking tobacco, and just because you're all sad because you can't fucking work out the chocolate factory no more, you're just gonna sit here in fucking bed, and we gotta feed your fucking tobacco addiction, which I guess we're just okay with doing.
Yeah.
But come on, Grandpa Joe, you gotta be better than that.
I get it.
You got to be better.
I get it.
You got to want to walk for your family, man.
I get it.
Not for Willy Wonka.
I get it.
But it does make sense in the world.
It's not what the movie's about. This is not a family drama. So I doubt that occurred to the filmmakers when they were making it.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah,
not.
but it's a good testament to what us as fans can do. We can be fucking nuts sometimes, right?
Oh yeah.
But it's a good testament as to the fact that we as fans can almost change a movie based off of the different narratives and conversations that we have and with this type
perceptions
of stuff.
Of the movie.
Yeah, it can completely change it, right? And I think filmmakers probably enjoy that, because more often than not, when I hear directors talk about that stuff, that's usually one of their favorite things. It's oh, I didn't even see it that way. That's cool that you have that perspective or whatever, right? But again, it's just hard for me to like. I like it for fun, but it's hard for me to give it like heavy substance in terms of like that's what was going down.
Oh yeah,
that's all it is for me. You know, I don't think Willy Wonka's evil, and I don't think Grandpa Joe is evil, but I think it's a fun, dark fantasy version of the story where that is the case.
I don't think Willy Wonka's evil.
No, and I was gonna say too, even within the context of the story that I think was presented, I do want to see Grandpa Joe explored a little bit, because it almost seems to me, I could have been grasping at straws here, but I almost got the vibe this time when I watched it that like Grandpa Joe has a history with Wonka in some way or another. Maybe not like directly to the point where like he knew him or even like worked for him or anything like that, but there's some kind of like obsessiveness behind Grandpa Joe's knowledge of Willy Wonka. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's just like the whole world. Like the whole world is just like
that's enamored a good point.
By
that's
Willy
a good
Wonka.
point.
And everyone just knows like, oh my God, Willy fucking Wonka.
Yeah.
Like, no one's seen fucking anyone walk in or walk out of blah, 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 you know?
There's a few good ones actually that I loved so like one of the first ones that you see is the teacher. That one makes me laugh where it's like, so all of the tickets get announced and they're in class and the teacher's like, class is dismissed, and they go and they're like, there's only 5 in the world, and they explain it and he's like, class is like reinstated or whatever, and he's like, class is redismissed. Like that's funny, right? Because like even the teacher wants to get on and he's like, fuck school, like I need a Wonka bar, right? That one cracks me up. The therapist one is super funny too. He's like sitting there and he's like, I just don't know. He's like, there's this angel of death that keeps coming to me and telling me these like things of the future, and he's like, well, it's probably just a dream, like it's like blah blah blah. And then he's like, what are the dreams telling you? And he's like, they keep telling me the location of the final Wonka bar. And he's like, where did they say the Wonka bar is? And he's like, well, it's just a dream. And he's like, damn it, man, tell me where the chocolate is. It's like, it gets so intense all of a sudden. It's fucking funny, dude.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I love it. The other one too that got me was there's a point where you just, it's like all of a sudden you just get thrust into this like super cheesy dramatic like almost like crime show type thing where like you come on this wife and like a detective, and he's like, the wife is like, I'll do anything to get Harold back, please, whatever they want, I'll give it to him, like the blah blah blah. And he's like, well, this is usually how ransom works, like we'll find out what they want. And he's like, please tell him I'm willing to give everything. And he's like, yep, all right, I understand. And he's like, well, they do have your husband, but they want your last case of Wonka chocolates. And she's like, oh. And he's like, for God's sakes, woman, it's a bar of fucking chocolate for your husband. And he's like, ask him how long I have to think about it. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
Wait, that was a show? Huh? That was a show in the fucking world?
No. It's I meant like the vibe of it.
Oh,
it's like
yeah,
the show.
But it's like
it's just an
shit.
aside. Yeah,
it's
in
some real shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, damn, that's some real shit.
Yeah. No, it was funny, dude. It cracked me up. Yeah.
It's funny how, like, I was thinking about it. Like, it's funny how it is like almost like a like the whole, like everything is almost like a narrative on like how we as a society just obsess over the randomest fucking things.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like like everyone's just obsessing over fucking this fool's chocolate.
Yep.
And like, you know, and I think like you look at anything nowadays, like fucking iPhones, everyone obsessed over fucking iPhone. I love the fucking iPhone, you know, like exactly, like fucking AirPods, everyone's obsessed, you know, any little fucking thing
people latch onto.
And that's today. And the fact that was like a thing people were writing about, like, you know, back then in like the 70s. You know?
What's so crazy to me, like, just on that topic right there, is it's like it's a trip, because back then it felt like everybody was into the same stuff. Because in this movie, right, if this was presented to us as like a parody for sure, right, because people are probably not that fucking crazy. I doubt a therapist in real life would like do that shit. If they did, they're horrible and should probably be fired.
Oh yeah,
but
terrible.
Terrible. The fucking everybody's into the one thing, versus like now with all of the connectivity and access that we have to the world, there's like probably at least like 100,000 things that you can become obsessed with nowadays. Probably closer to like 1 million, if I'm being honest. Like there are so many little niche groups in the world today that are so like manically obsessed with the thing that they love. And I'm better. I'm not, and not to say that it's bad or good, right? Because I have a fucking Star Wars tattoo on my arm. I wear Marvel stuff all the fucking time. Like, I'm a fanatic for the stuff I love, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it's just a trip to me how many hardcore fandoms there are now. Like, it's such a wide range of things that obsessive nature is still there. It's just applied to, like, a huge spectrum now of entertainment. It's insane. It's scary, honestly, sometimes. It's crazy.
It's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, this was a fucking nuts movie. I like the end scene a lot. Like the end,
me too.
Like
it's very heartwarming.
It is very heartwarming. Like it's pretty like you're kind of taken back in the beginning, right? When you know the tour ends and he's just like, you know, like see you later and blah blah blah. Yeah. And then they go in and talk to him and he's like, I'm fucking busy right now. Like a very big switch up from how he was acting the whole movie, and then all of a sudden he's just like, hey man, I don't have fucking time for you right now. All right.
You know what though? I liked that scene and I appreciated it a lot more, again, having just probably grown up a little bit. But when I was a kid, I was like, fuck you, Willy Wonka, don't be mean. But now I'm like, fuck you, Charlie and Grandpa Joe. You're trying to walk in here acting like you didn't do the same shit these other kids did. Like
Grandpa Joe again. I'll say fucking Charlie didn't even want to drink the fucking soda. He even told him it was a fucking bad idea. And Grandpa Joe's like, hey, no one's fucking looking, man. Let's just fucking do it. Fuck you, Grandpa Joe. You piece of fucking shit. You almost got you almost got Charlie. You almost didn't secure the fucking chocolate factory.
Fucking free lifetime supply of chocolate and shit. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna, that's why I like that scene so much, because like that. It felt like the closest thing fans of the Grandpa Joe's an asshole plot line, the closest thing you could get to satisfaction of that. Because Wonka does call out Grandpa Joe, essentially, right? He's not yelling at Charlie. He's yelling at Grandpa Joe, like, you cheated, you lost, you're done. Like, it's fucking intense. As much as I do think he fucked up, and I agree, I was like, damn, Wonka, chill out. Because he's like fucking tearing this old man a new one, bro. Like, very impassioned, screaming at him and shit like that. But it makes sense when you think about it in the context that I understood this time, which is that Wonka personally chose this kid because he believes that he is the one with a good enough heart to take over. And the fact that he didn't hold up to it, right? Because you can even blame Charlie in a sense. If Charlie is really that good of a kid, Grandpa Joe's not going to force him into that shit. Like, he would have been like, no, let's get the fuck out of here. He tells him it's a bad idea when everybody's in there. But when everybody's gone and Grandpa Joe's like, we should try this, he's like, okay, cool.
No, because everyone leaves and then he holds him back and he's like, hey, we should try some of this. And Charlie's like, nah, dude, it's like not a good idea. He's like, no one's here. Like, no one's looking. It's all good. We'll just take a little sip. And then he's like, all right.
But even still, my point is,
are you going to say no to your grandpa?
If my point is this, is that like, if Charlie is really the person that Willy Wonka wants to believe he is, he's not testing Grandpa Joe.
Yeah. True.
He's testing Charlie. Yep. So in his mind, Charlie failed. And Grandpa Joe led him to that, sure. But his prime fucking subject, the person he put all his fucking chips on, fucked him over, basically. So I understand why he's upset. It doesn't seem like particularly out of place. And also, too, I do think he was genuinely upset at the end there. I don't think it was like one final test to like put him through the ringer, you know, because he does turn around immediately after, right? And he's like, it was all a test, my boy, you passed, blah blah blah, and all that shit. But I think in that final moment he was genuinely disappointed in Charlie, because he's like, fuck bro, you were my guy and you still fucking cheated, you little bastard. You took some shit that I told you not to fucking take. But then with the part where it really mattered, with the everlasting gobstopper, the fucking cure to poverty basically and hunger fucking around the world, he gives it to him and he like says some line, I forget what he says, but it's very cryptic and it sounds biblical or some shit again, and then but yeah, it's intense.
I agree. I do think he is a little upset. I do think that is a final test though, just because he still does have the gobstopper,
like one last hurrah.
One last, like, because he easily could have, because it is just so convenient, right, that that Charlie and Uncle Joe like drink the fucking the fucking fizzy lifting drink, and then they fucking go up and they're gone for hella long, and then they come back and then no one notices anything. Like, it's very convenient that they don't notice, right?
Well, it makes sense that the other parties wouldn't, right? Because the other kids are spoiled fucks that can't be concerned. But it's weird that Wonka doesn't notice.
Yeah. And for him to not be like, hey, you fucked up and you touched some shit.
On top of all the other kids. Yeah.
So I think that was like a final test to really be like, hey, I'm going to act like I'm upset at you. Because he probably still is like a little bit, but he probably planned out for how methodical he is. Hey, he might slip up here, but it's okay.
That's a good point, yeah.
You know, let me just act like I'm going to rip him a new one and see what he does. How he reacts, see how like selfless and truthful he is as a kid. Because I think when they're about to leave, Grandpa Joe's like, hey, let's take that and we can just sell it for blah, 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 however much, you know. And then Charlie's like, nah, dude.
He still gives it back to him.
Yeah. And so I think that was like the boom. All right, cool. You passed. Because that was the whole point of like, hey, don't steal my fucking ideas. Bro.
Yeah, no. Which would have been in vain anyways, right? Because Slugworth works for him anyway. So, but yeah, no, it's an insane test. Very weird prospect when you think about it, because you don't give a fucking entire chocolate regime to a child for sure. But
well, it's because Charlie's gonna run it exactly the way Willy Wonka
would. Yeah, I know. Have you ever watched Snowpiercer before?
Yes.
Have you seen the movie?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever seen the plot theory that these two movies are connected?
I've seen that on YouTube, but I've never clicked on the video because I'm like, all right, now we're grasping at straws here.
I would encourage you to watch it.
Okay.
If you're going to believe in the stuff that's... I think that the amount of shit that's provided in that video is just as much to go off of as all the other wild fan theories about Willy Wonka.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna watch it after this.
It's good shit, bro. It's pretty scary, honestly. I tripped the fuck out. It's like I will say, it's in the same vein, right? But it's like I was saying before. It's almost certainly not what the filmmakers intended, but it is a very convincing, fun connection that the fans have made.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy shit. It's good though. It's cool.
Interesting. Yeah. God, yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it after this.
Yeah, it's good. It's a wild one. You wouldn't ever think about it, but
hey, I heard you like them wild ones. Ooh,
I don't know that song.
You don't know that song?
I don't think so.
Pretty sure that's Rihanna.
Oh,
Rihanna. No, it's not. I'm fucking dumb. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna bleep that out. I'm gonna bleep that out because
I'm pretty sure that's beep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Another random thing, because I feel us inching towards the wrap up here, but
I feel fucking dumb for
who that was actually. But another thing,
Flo Rida and fucking
who's featured on it?
Too.
Sia. There you go. Another thing that I tripped out on.
I'm sorry, Sia, and I'm sorry, Rihanna. I didn't mean to make that mistake.
Sorry. Contact us though, even if it's to like talk shit to us, because that would be cool. But anyway, in that last scene, I was also struck by the fact that everything in Wonka's office is cut in half.
Yep.
Everything.
That was one thing I did remember from when I was little, because I remember when I was little watching, being like, out on it. This is weird. Mm-hmm. This is a weird fucking room.
I don't know what the symbolism is. Again, there's probably some intention there that I'm not smart enough to understand, but
neither am I.
But it tripped me out for sure. I need videos to do that stuff. Like, I love watching stuff about it, and I'll understand it retrospectively when somebody's like explained it to me. But I personally am not like that. I'm not that type of analytical.
We're not the symbolism masters here.
No,
this isn't a symbolism podcast. No. As much as we would love it to be, we're just not.
Yeah,
because I can't do that.
No,
I can't do that.
Like, either. I mean, we can pull certain things here, especially when it comes to things like music, right? And like, because we've been watching so many movies, we can understand certain things when it comes to like, I think even like shots and camera work and everything. I feel like we've been like growing in our like vocabulary with that type of stuff. But yeah, when it comes to those little hidden things, and then even with like the boat and all that stuff, like that stuff, I like the people who can actually pull meaning out of that stuff, fucking kudos, because I don't understand how you figure that stuff out.
Yeah, I can point it out and be like, hey, this means something.
Yeah, but I don't know what it means.
Can't tell you what it means, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't come to me for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I just tell you how much I like stuff.
Yeah. The last one I'll say before whatever is I liked the final quote that he leaves him with quite a bit. I had the one earlier, right, which is, if the good Lord intended for us to walk, he wouldn't have invented roller skates. That one's fucking stupid, and it just makes me laugh. But the one that I really like quite a bit, actually, is like, there's this sense that I get from Willy Wonka as a character and just the movie in whole that is like pretty optimistic. Despite some of the darker elements in it, I think Willy Wonka believes in like the goodness of humanity. That's why he places his chips on Charlie. And I like the line that he leaves him with at the end, because I'm going to say it first. So he says, "Don't forget what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he ever wanted. He lived happily ever after." there's a lot of times where stories, and rightfully so, right? Because this happens in real life, and it's probably a more accurate testament to what humanity can be like. But there's like a very big tendency, I think, to take that notion and say that that's going to corrupt somebody, that you give somebody ultimate randomly. That's the kind of what Falcon Winter Soldier is about too. I saw a clip about that earlier today. Like Steve Rogers is Charlie, right? Because like you can give this ultimate super soldier / chocolate power to somebody, and more often than not, it would probably corrupt someone. But you have hopefully these few people that every once in a while are like your good egg, right? That can have that and not be corrupted. That's actually just what they needed to fucking make their lives better and potentially make the lives of those around them better. And I fucking love that this movie leaves that message, because like there's so much fucking realistic, pessimistic, hardcore, grounded, gritty realism, whatever the fuck you want to call it. There's so much of it nowadays, and I'm fucking sick of it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. I'm not saying get rid of it completely, but good God, we have made the world look like a bleak fucking place through the entertainment that we use, right?
Yeah.
Looking at it for what it really is one thing, but like, I see movies in particular as a very powerful tool to influence people. And if we are constantly pumping out pessimistic, gritty, realistic portrayals of just shitty fucking life and shitty people, that's probably what people are gonna fucking do, because we take after the things that we see, right? So I fucking love that this movie is optimistic, bro. I love that it ends on that note.
Yeah, I was really not taken back, but I was really surprised by that quote, because that's something I didn't remember for sure. And the reason why is because, like you said, there is like this bleak outlook on life of like nothing fucking matters, nothing we do matters.
Nothing
we're so
out.
small,
like,
and we're so blah 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 in the grand scheme of like the universe, which is like, you know,
true, fine, you're
true.
right, but but let's do something else though.
But it's also because more often than not, you hear from like, you know, people you look up to, whether that be celebrities, you know, artists, or like, you know, I feel like there is like this narrative of like, yeah, man, I got everything I ever wanted, and I wasn't even fucking happy about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like that was like it's a good thing to look at in terms of like, you know, really look at what you want in your life. Because maybe what you want isn't really what you actually want. And when you get there, like, you might not like what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
but there's also like someone like a Charlie who is very like selfless, good-hearted, and kind of like understands how to be like a good person, you know, and probably wants like good things. And he's just like, hey man, like when you get what you want, like you're just going to be happy, bro.
Yeah.
And like,
man.
that's all, like, you don't need to worry about anything anymore. Like there's this big weight lifted off your shoulders. Your family doesn't have to worry about shit anymore. Like you guys are fucking good.
Yeah, definitely. Cause
it's such a nice ending.
It is, dude. I love it. Cause like that narrative that you're talking about, right? Of like, I got everything I ever wanted and it didn't make me happy. I feel like more often than not, the follow up to that is, I realized what I thought I wanted wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like such a popular narrative now that I think is just incorrect. It's fucking ridiculously stupid to say that if you got everything you ever wanted, you'd be sad. That's not true. It just so happens that we, in this particular society that we live in, especially in the United States, get brainwashed into thinking that we want
certain
the American dream or whatever. And that probably doesn't make anybody fucking happy unless you're like a capitalistic pig. But fucking, yeah, I was down with it, bro. I was down with the ending. I was down with the overall message that I got from it at the end of it. I was like, fuck yeah, Charlie. Fuck yeah, Willy Wonka. Some good shit.
Yeah, I love when they get in the elevator and he's like, look, all these buttons go, like, they go here. I've pressed every single one of these buttons. He's like, but I've never pressed this one.
Yeah, that's good.
He's all, and go and fucking, and like just letting Charlie also like press that. Like, here, I've never pressed this button. But here, let this be the first button that you press.
Yeah.
And that's such a crazy, like, inverse if you think about it, right? Charlie's never pressed any of those buttons before, but he presses the one button and that's his first button.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It's like the perfect induction for him,
The great passing of the torch.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But yeah, this was, dude, it's such a fantastic movie, and it's crazy how much, like, it holds up.
Yeah,
like,
oh my God, yeah, it's ridiculous, yeah. So, okay, that was one thing I wanted to bring up before we officially wrap, which is, I have not seen this in a while. It seems like you have not seen it in a while either. I had better expectations of what the Timothée Chalamet movie was going to be before I watched this again. I don't have a lot of hope for that movie after seeing this again. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's just so hard because, like, I think, like we've said, like in past episodes, when you watch the trailer, it seems like he is going for that Gene Wilder-esque type of Willy Wonka, which I guess makes sense in the sense of, like, if we are going for, like, a, you know, prequel, like, freaking origin story type thing, and that's the Willy Wonka you want to do the origin story for, like, I guess. But it's like, that is such just like a unique character, and then even when you go over to the Johnny Depp version, how like different that version is, and
he
how
put
much
his own spin at least.
It's like hard to be like, okay, I'm gonna watch this, and I don't think you're gonna do Gene Wilder better than Gene Wilder.
He's not. And then again, the other thing too that I was mentioning before is it's like I'm not excited to see the super crazy CG'd version of the Willy Wonka world. Like this looks already so fucking beautiful with nothing, like not nothing, because I'm sure the movie had a decent budget, obviously, but. With no computer generated effects, and it's gorgeous. I understand that at times, a lot of times, it could probably be more expensive to build real life sets than it is to just fucking underpay somebody and overwork them to visually create it in a computer, right? But I don't think it's gonna hold up, man. I don't know.
I think I don't know. Yeah, I'm not optimistic on that part either.
Not anymore. Like, I was more optimistic before. Now that I've seen it again, I'm like, nope, nobody's ever going to touch this.
And again, like when you go to like the Tim Burton, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like there is heavy CG in that, but it has like the Tim Burton flair to it, which feels very unique.
This stylistic. CG feels
CG for the sake of like we're not going to build these sets.
Yeah, like they just did it because exactly. Not necessity for creativity's sake, but necessity for like a budget's sake or something like that. I don't know.
Probably for the budget's sake.
Yeah, I didn't even realize though that they're trying to even copycat his little shtick, because I had forgot about the line in this one, the 71, which he says, "We have so little to do and so much time." Wait, scratch that. Reverse it. He says that twice in this movie, and I didn't realize when I saw because at first I was like, that's a charming enough thing to give to the Timothée Chalamet one. Cool. But then I heard him say it in this one, and I was like, nope, he's a fucking poser.
Yeah, so much better.
Definitely not.
It's so much better than the Gene Wilder one. Like, dude, the way he says it, like...
It's not... I even love Timothée Chalamet as an actor. I think he's really good, and I like him in everything that I've seen him in from, like, the last 5 years. Before that, I wasn't, like, a big fan of him, but I would say from probably, like, Little Women on, I've been a fan of his. So I like him. I just don't think that he's the right person for the job.
Yeah. Doing the scratch that, reverse it feels like you're trying to say something Willy Wonka would say rather than just saying something Willy Wonka would say, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. It's better to write new lines that feel like Willy Wonka as opposed to just some shit that he's already said. Yeah. But we'll see. Maybe it'll blow me away. I really hope that it does still. It's very hard to be optimistic from the trailers after watching the original again. Yeah. This one's fucking magic, dude. This one's crazy.
It is, man. It just has that magic to it, man. And it's fucking, you just can't describe it. Like, you can't describe like just how good this movie is. Like, you just have to sit down and fucking watch it and experience it and be like, damn. Like, this is really like a work of art. This is a masterpiece.
Yeah, it really is. Somebody for sure. I don't know who retains the rights to the Willy Wonka franchise, but somebody needs to make a Willy Wonka park.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because just literally do the experience.
Make everything edible.
Just do the experience from when Wonka, like make it like, you been to Universal? No? Okay, they have the tram ride there where you get a tour of the back lots where they film stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a couple times where it locks in for rides and stuff like that, and it's very cool. Do that, but Willy Wonka. And you start with an actor playing Wonka who brings you into the thing. You go through the door, it shrinks on you, you come out into the big room, you go on the boat, everything. Like, do all of the stations, but as a fucking amusement park ride. I would love it. I would go there every fucking year. Shit would be cool as fuck.
Yeah. Oh, and one more thing I want to talk about. How crazy seamless is that transition from when they get to the small door and then they open it and it's just like...
It's wild. Honestly, it's good. There's a couple that trip me out. The other one that looks really good to me too is when they are on the car wash car, and it like goes past. It's a different trick, right? But it looks so nice when it like goes in behind the wall and it just all disappears, and then it comes out the other side and stuff. And the stretching effects like do so much for it. There's just so much little nuance to the effects and the way they pull off the world, man. It's artistry at its finest.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's really good.
But yeah, if you guys have never watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, what the fuck are you doing?
You should go watch it. You probably did see it when you were a kid. You just don't remember it.
You just got to go watch it again.
Yeah.
And just watch it and experience the beauty that is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it since you were little like us, then definitely go watch it again. There's a lot more there than you expected.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I have one question for you before we get out of here. Okay. I've been thinking about this question. I want a question that might stump you. I don't know if this will.
Okay.
This is a test to see if I need to come up with better questions.
Okay.
2 trilogies. One has to go forever. Original Star Wars trilogy, Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah, that is tough. I'm going to say Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
Lord of the Rings doesn't happen without Star Wars. Star Wars establishes so much in terms of franchising. Lord of the Rings will come along again at some point. Maybe not from Peter Jackson and the way it was, but so much comes from what Star Wars established. You lose a shit ton if you don't have that as a starting point. That's my answer.
I felt like that would be your answer.
That is a hard one though, because I would say Lord of the Rings is a better trilogy, which is insane considering how much I love Star Wars. But like quality wise, no fucking doubt about it. As much as I fucking love the original trilogy, no trilogy anywhere stands up to the Lord of the Rings one. But again,
it's pretty beautiful.
It is. But again, I have to say that like, I don't know. If Lord of the Rings happened in the 70s exactly the way it was, I don't know if it would have spawned everything that Star Wars did. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have had the same ripple effect, I don't think.
That's true.
So that's why I'll keep Star Wars. Do you have an answer to that question?
No, I don't.
It is hard.
I don't know. I would probably say Lord of the Rings too. I think just I like Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm a big Star Wars guy. So
that's true, because Lord of the Rings also came into your life later.
Much later.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. But again, quality-wise, though, I have to give it to the Rings, man.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
There's no trilogy better than the Rings, dude. Yeah.
Even like watching like the extended versions to that.
So good.
So crazy.
So watchable. And they're like fucking 5 hours long. Like, it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But all right, everybody, that was episode number
71.
You know where to follow us. If you don't, you want to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at TH4TV, TOOHIGH4TV. That's the number 4 symbol. Like I said, we weren't a symbolism podcast, but we kind of are because with the number. So we're slightly symbolic.
That's right.
Yeah. But yes, go follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. You can listen on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can watch on YouTube. You can also listen if you have YouTube Premium and you want to just listen to stuff in the background. You can just lock your phone and you just watch it. That shit's pretty fucking cool.
It is.
Go subscribe to us on YouTube. Go hit the notification bell so you can know when the videos drop. That's every Friday. And who knows, I might be starting sprinkling little videos in here and there. Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, guys, this is episode number 71. Thank you all for listening. If you have stayed all the way to the end,
we appreciate you.
We appreciate you. These are beefy episodes.
Also, Vanessa, if you're still here, we love you.
Yeah, you're pretty cool.
Big time shout out. Cool.
But all right, guys. I am your host.
And this is your host, Boots and Cats and Boots and Cats.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Latest.